Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Konoha watches Naruto and Yugioh. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by RagnellAlondite and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Admittance. This should be easy enough. Naruto sighed as he walked up towards the stadium where the exams were being held. The former shinobi was currently preparing to take the dueling portion of the exam to get into the duel academy. It had been a very unusual turn of events that had led him to this point in his life. Him and Sasuke had just finished saving the shinobi world when Kagaya, in a last-minute strike of spitefulness, had opened a doorway that had dragged Naruto and Sasuke through into some strange world. The pair had been separated when they arrived, but the strangest part was the fact that Naruto had returned to being 7 years old and all of his ninjutsu skills were gone. It had driven the blonde nuts that he couldn't make any of his clones or even summon a toad to figure out what had happened, but he had decided to make the best of it, especially when his adopted father had taken him in, fully knowing the truth about the blonde and getting him enrolled in Duel Academy. As Naruto reached the booth he quickly registered and was informed that he was likely going to be the last one today. No sooner had those words left the woman's mouth than a young brown-haired boy climbed up the cliffside fence with a cheerful grin, saying that he was here to take the exam as well. "Running late, huh?" Naruto asked with a smirk. "Yeah." The boy chuckled. "I'm Jaden Yuki. Naruto Uzumaki." Naruto nodded as he shook Jaden's hand, a long-formed and trusted instinct told him that this boy had a great deal of potential. The pair soon walked in, and Naruto saw that there was a duel in progress, though it was just about to end, as Naruto saw the glimmer of the trap card and smirked when the Ring of Destruction spell destroyed his own Force Raider and allowed him to win the duel. "Clever," Naruto admitted as a shorter boy with pale blue hair jumped. "Yeah. Can't wait for my turn." Jaden grinned. That was the last one," the boy remarked. "What?" Jaden exclaimed. "Then we have a problem." Naruto sighed since we both registered just before the deadline. "Will Naruto Uzumaki please report to Dueling Field 3, Naruto Uzumaki Dueling Field 3. Will Jaden Yuki please report to Dueling Field 1, Jaden Yuki Dueling Field 1. The announcer exclaimed. The pair nodded as they made their way down to their respective fields, and Naruto was faced with his proctor. "Alright Mr. Uzumaki, do your best to beat me here." The proctor said in a tone of voice that seemed to say that he thought it was unlikely. "It's Naruto." The blonde replied as he opened the case on his right leg and removed his deck, inserting it into his orange duel disc. "Duel." The pair exclaimed as their discs activated. From up in the stands Zane Truesdale, a fourth year at the academy, observed the two duels with glances, though his eye was drawn to the blonde that had such an air of confidence about him that he was willing to bet that he would be a strong competitor later on. His choice of clothing was certainly enough to draw the eye as he noticed several of the girls in the academy staring at him with his black pants with orange trim on the cuffs, a burnt orange colored shirt and a red trench coat with a black flame design on the bottom of it. "Be strong?" Alexis Rhodes asked next to him, catching which way his gaze was turned. "Potentially," Zane admitted, shocking the girl at the willingness to admit that someone was going to be strong without seeing their deck. "First move is mine," the proctor exclaimed as he drew his card and smirked at his hand. "I'll start by summoning out the Gemini ELF 1900 at 900 def in attack mode. Next I activate the equip spell the Axe of Despair, increasing my Gemini Elf's attack to 2900. On his side of the field appeared a pair of elves that most would consider beautiful, and then in the hands of the blonde elf appeared an axe that Naruto knew would hurt if it made a solid hit. I'll play one card face down and end my turn. Proctor LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. Naruto only nodded as he drew his card and smirked as he saw what was in his hand and how he could finish it with one turn. "It's over for you," Naruto remarked, getting various mumblings from the students as they heard this, and Naruto began his turn. "I'll start by activating my spell card Jiraiya's Research. This handy little spell reveals all face-down cards in your spell trap card zone and destroys all trap cards." Naruto's card appeared showing an older white-haired man with a telescope looking towards the proctor as his face-down card was revealed to be a Mirror Force card and was destroyed. "Next up I summon out Konoha Genin. Naruto Uzumaki 1500 at 1000 def to the field." In a burst of light the Naruto from his early days as a shinobi appeared on the field and stood there in his orange jumpsuit with a cocky grin, but he won't be sticking around long. "I tribute him to special summon out Konoha Toad Sage. Naruto Uzumaki 2700 at 2000 def." The young Naruto disappeared and in his place was a different Naruto, wearing a different orange jumpsuit underneath the same coat that the dueling Naruto was wearing. The most shocking feature to those watching up close or on the monitors was the orange around his toad-like yellow eyes. But I'm not done yet, because with a Naruto Uzumaki card on the field, I can special summon out Konoha Yondaime Hokage. Minato Namikaze 2800 at 2500 def and Konoha Jinchuruki. Kushina Uzumaki 2700 at 2300 def. In twin flashes of light, Naruto's birth parents stood on either side of the sage version of himself. Nice work, but none of those cards are strong enough to destroy my Gemini elf. The proctor warned. Not finished yet. Naruto grinned. You see, Kushina has a very nice effect. She gains 300 AT for each Naruto Uzumaki and Minato Namika's card on the field. A blue aura started to surround Kushina as her attack increased to 3300. Now let's end this. Kushina, attack the Gemini elf. Chains of restraint. Charging forward, Kushina's blue aura turned into several chains that wrapped around the Gemini elf and crushed them. Proctor LP. 3600. Naruto LP. 4000. Now Minato, attack him directly. Hurration. In a single motion, the taller blonde threw a kunai that just missed the proctor, but not before Minato disappeared in a flash of yellow and appeared over the proctor with a glowing blue sphere in his hand that he rammed into the proctor, earning a shout of both pain and shock. Proctor LP. 900. Naruto LP. 4000. Now Naruto end this, Rasen Shuriken. Naruto shouted as the monster version of him made his jutsu and threw it at the proctor, where it detonated and removed the last of his opponent's life points. Game, set, match. Winner Naruto Uzumaki. The proctor grinned as he stood up and walked towards the blonde, shaking his hand. You really surprised me there. Never seen those cards before. Custom deck. All of them are. Naruto replied. All of them? The proctor asked. I have 8 different decks that I use. Naruto replied as he started to leave to find out his dorm. Good game. Good game. The proctor nodded as he made sure to send in the results. Impressive. Zane nodded as he saw the conclusion of the duel. His opponent didn't stand a chance. One-shotted him. That's insane, no freshman has defeated their opponent in one turn since you. Alexis muttered in shock. Naruto Uzumaki is going to be one to watch out for. Zane agreed as he refocused on Jaiden's duel. While Jaiden's took much longer than Naruto's did, he was also pitted up against a much stronger deck and with a large disadvantage against Crowler's Ancient Gear Golem. Naruto only smirked in the end when he saw the youth use his elemental hero Flame Wingman to destroy the golem and turn a losing situation around to his victory. Not bad. Naruto called down to Jaiden, who was coming up with a grin on his face. I did great. He laughed. You win. One turn KO. Naruto nodded. Wow, you get lucky. Just the way my deck flows. Naruto smiled as they walked over to get their dorm assignments. Jaiden was handed a red blazer while Naruto was handed a blue one, getting a frown from Naruto. Why is he in red? Naruto asked. While his practical exam was excellent, he didn't score nearly high enough to be placed in raw yellow just yet. The man behind the desk explained. So how do you get into blue? Jaiden asked. Prep school is usually required. The man explained, though with proper recommendations you can bypass that and be placed in obelisk blue. So we aren't in the same dorm. Naruto shrugged. We are in the same year, so we will likely see each other around. You bet. We definitely have to have a duel. Jaiden nodded. We'll see. Naruto smiled as he grabbed a jacket and walked off, though not before noting the winged brown furball on Jaiden's shoulder and making a mental note to keep an eye out for others like it. After all, they were from a different dimension, so they might know how to get back to his. Academia Island. Naruto's gaze moved with practiced ease over the island that was to be his new home for the time being. It was a large enough island with forests on some sides of it and a large volcano that the school was nestled up to, likely using the magma to generate power for the school. Aboard the ship that was taking them to the academy were hundreds of students of various years and all divided up into the 3 dormitories of Obelisk Blue, Raw Yellow and Slifer Red. As Naruto finished glancing over the island, he returned his gaze to the other students and began picking out who had strong decks, who had gotten where they were due to powerful influence, and who was put where they were for earning the ire of one of the higher-ups in the school. Hey Naruto. Jaiden called out as he moved through the crowd towards the blonde with the light blue-haired youth. Jaiden. Naruto nodded with a smile. Ready for the school year? Jaiden asked. Looking forward to seeing what some of these duelists can do. Naruto admitted. I've only met a handful of people that can give me a challenge, and I am hoping that this school will change that. Is your deck that strong? The blue-haired boy asked. All of them are. I never got your name. Naruto chuckled sheepishly. I'm Cirrus Truesdale. He answered. Naruto nodded as he ran an appraising eye over him and noted the potential there, but saw that his own fear and uncertainties were undermining his abilities. How many decks do you have? Jaiden asked. 8 of them. Naruto answered, getting the 2 boys to blink in shock. 8? Yeah. Each deck is different, and if I know what my opponent is using, I can use a deck that counteracts theirs. Or I sometimes switch up my deck for the fun of it. Naruto replied. Why so many though? Cirrus asked. That is a secret. Naruto chuckled, but each one has its own style and own flow. The one I used in my admittance duel is my favorite though. Sweet. We have got to have a duel when we get there. Jaden laughed. Pant. Naruto stated, earning a groan of disappointment from the brown-haired duelist. We have the opening ceremonies to go to, and then we have to go to our dorms and get our schedules. If we have time after that, I'll come find you. Jaden nodded at this as the three turned back towards the island, none of them noticing the mutterings behind them. What's an obelisk blue doing hanging out with those slifer slackers? One blue dorm student muttered. Likely got his place in that dorm because of his parents. Another muttered. What a weird guy, hanging out with the bottom of the barrel. A girl whispered to her friends. Yeah, he could at least start talking to some raw yellows if he's going to go slumming. Another blue remarked. The only student not making any remark about Naruto standing and talking with Jaden and Cirrus was Zane, who only nodded his head at this, seeing that he had an eye for talent as well and didn't care too much about what dorm they were in. At night, once the opening ceremonies were completed, the students walked off to their dorms and Naruto just stared at the obelisk blue dorm and just shook his head at it. Something wrong? Alexis asked as she walked up to him, seeing that Naruto had stopped when he saw the building. Just stunned at the stupidity of this. Naruto sighed as he started walking again. Stupidity? Alexis asked in shock. Yeah. The segregation here is repulsive. Naruto answered. But segregation? The dorms are separated by ability. No, they aren't. Naruto stated calmly as they walked. Jaden Yuki, for example, is an exemplary duelist, though lacks in the academic area. His dueling skills alone would put him on par with most of the pro duelists in the minor circuits, since he managed to defeat one of the professors at this school, and yet he is sent to Slifer Red, the worst dorm in the school, because he beat said professor. And from what I have seen, most of the obelisk blue students are not as impressive as they would like you to think that they are. Their decks are likely to be beaten by your average raw yellow, but they are here because of who their parents are. Alexis was stunned by his summarization. Here was this new freshman that was in the best dorm in the school, who was annoyed that the other dorms got worse treatment than he did. He was clearly going to be the black sheep in the dorm, and that would be proven very quickly. It didn't take long for the schedules to be given and then for them to be shown to their rooms. Naruto eyed his room and muttered to himself as he tossed his bag onto his bed. It was larger than anything he was used to, it could fit his old apartment in it with ease from his estimates. The entire room was done in blues, golds and whites, and Naruto felt annoyed that there wasn't a scrap of orange anywhere. Wonder if I could repaint. Naruto muttered to himself as he shrugged and started unpacking while waiting for his roommate to finally make his way into the room. Once Naruto had finished, he heard the door opening and saw his roommate enter, walking with all the arrogance in the world. So you're my roommate? Naruto asked with a frown as he took him in and blinked in slight surprise that he had potential to be strong but hadn't gotten his deck yet. That's right. I'm Chaz Princeton. He said as he set his bag down. Naruto Uzumaki. I know who you are. You're the kid that one-shotted his test proctor and been hanging out with those slifer slackers. Chaz snorted. You're wasting your time with those losers. They aren't losers. Naruto replied. Jaden beat Crowler, which is more than most students in this dorm can say. Lucky break. Luck is a part of this game. Naruto smirked as he sat on his bed. Take it from me, luck plays as much a role as talent and deck design. HMPH, whatever. Chaz snorted as he started putting his stuff away. You'll see soon enough that those guys are worthless. I doubt it. Was all Naruto said as he leaned back on his bed and shut his eyes. Wake me up when it's time for dinner. What do I look like, your butler? Chaz shouted. No, you are way too noisy for that. Naruto remarked. More like a pet that I never wanted. Say that again, punk. You deaf or something? Naruto asked with a smirk as Chaz was about ready to try and punch the smart-mouthed blonde. Naruto kept the smirk on his face as he closed his eyes and relaxed as much as any shinobi could. A few hours later, he heard Chaz muttering under his breath as he kicked Naruto's bed to wake the blonde, who simply sat up and started getting ready. You've got 5 minutes before dinner. He replied. Plenty of time, thanks. Naruto nodded as he changed coats and walked towards the door. You coming? Chaz blinked at this and restrained the urge to hit this annoying blonde, though he wasn't sure why. Once they were downstairs, Naruto was sitting near the end of the table, right next to Zane, who nodded to him as he took a seat as far away from Chaz and Crowler as he could. Enjoying yourself? Zane asked. I want to throw my roommate out of a window. Naruto replied calmly, and Crowler gives me the creeps. Better call him Professor Crowler if you want to stay out of trouble. Zane warned him. That sounds boring. Naruto shrugged. More fun to live like I want and piss off the egomaniacs along the way. So most of this dorm? Exactly. Zane only smirked at the remark as they started to dish up their plates and eat. I heard you say that your deck was custom made. It is. Specially designed by Industrial Illusions. That must have cost quite a bit. You have no idea. Dad went all out for me though. So you come from a rich family? Adopted? Naruto replied, I'm technically an orphan. Sorry to hear that. Zane said, and to Naruto's surprise he seemed to mean it. It's fine. I know who they are and I know that they would be proud of me. So I hear you are the best duelist in this school. I am. Though I think that title may be yours once I leave. Zane noted with a grin. But some of the kids in my class. I think that I might have a run for my money. Naruto chuckled. Oh? Who do you think might be able to beat you? Jaden Yuki has some serious potential, though I haven't dueled him myself so I can't say for certain. Your brother could be a contender too if he stops wallowing in self-pity and gets his rear in gear. Alexis seems to be a strong competitor, but until I duel her I can't say that for certain. Until that point I need to see some of these others duel before I come to any decisions. Zane only nodded at Naruto's assessment and noted that he had the same feeling about Jaden that he did. The only one that slightly surprised him was that he thought his brother would be able to pose a threat to him. Cyrus was a good duelist, but he lacked the utter confidence to really win. The two soon fell into idle chatter until they heard Crowler calling down to the pair. I see you've taken one of our freshmen under your wing, Zane. Crowler chuckled, seems fitting that the best attracts the best. I am not the best yet. Naruto replied calmly, I am good, but I know my decks backwards and forwards, it gives me a much better advantage than most duelists here. Is that so? Any duelist should know their decks like that. Perhaps, but I am willing to bet you that almost every student in this school doesn't. They are here to learn and that also means learning the deck that is best for them. My decks are custom jobs, and that is why they are best for me. Custom decks? Made by who? Industrial Illusions. Naruto stated it cost a lot, but in the end I never clicked with any other type of deck, despite every effort to otherwise. Crowler nodded at this and seemed to be having an idea forming in his head, and they are legal cards. Yes, though I own the only copies in existence. Then perhaps you would like to see what they could really do. I know what they can do. I know them backwards and forwards. Naruto stated, but if that is a challenge, Professor Crowler, then I am willing to accept. The teacher dueling one of his students would be unbecoming. Crowler replied calmly, perhaps one of our other students would be willing to test themselves against you. Naruto smiled as he glanced along the table and waited for someone to step up and face him. No one seemed willing to, however, as almost all of them turned their gaze from him when he looked at them. They weren't sure, but something about the blonde unnerved them, like he was eager to destroy them if they agreed to duel him. After a few moments Crowler sighed and spoke. Since none of your dorm mates want to face you right now, I will indulge you in a duel. Crowler replied as he stood up. Duel discs, or are we just going to go old school and just play on a table? Naruto asked as he stood up as well. Duel discs, of course. I want your other classmates to see this. Consider it a teaching demonstration. Crowler replied as Naruto nodded and they both went to get their duel discs. The pair were outside 10 minutes later, facing each other calmly as they both activated their duel discs and drew their opening hands. I will take the first move. Crowler stated as he drew his 6th card and began. I'll start by playing 2 cards face down and then summoning my ancient gear Soldier at 1400 def 1300 in defense mode. Crowler LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. I draw. Naruto nodded as he drew his 6th card and nodded at his hand. It wasn't a one-turn kill, but if he played his moves right, he could finish Crowler quickly. I'll start by activating my field spell Konohagakure no Sado. Naruto began as he played the card, and the area changed from the nighttime outside of the obelisk dormitory to the streets of Konoha from Naruto's youth. This will increase the attacks of all Konoha monsters by 500 points, as well as reducing summoning costs by 1. Next I'll summon Konoha Jonin. Niji Hyuga at 2200 def 2100 in attack mode, where he now gets his bonus, AC. 2700. Now let's take out the trash. Niji attack the ancient gear soldier, 64 palm strike. Niji moved with a predatory grace, and beneath him the 8 trigram symbol appeared as he struck, unleashing the onslaught onto the ancient gear soldier, who soon fell into a pile of rubble. Crowler LP. 2600. Naruto LP. 4000. I'll end my turn there. Naruto replied as Crowler nodded and made his draw. Well played, young man. However, here is where the game changes. I'll activate the heavy storm spell card to destroy all spell and trap cards on the field, removing your field spell and my 2 statue of the wicked cards. Now that I have 2 tokens out, I sacrifice them to summon my ancient gear golem, 3000 at 3000 def. Now destroying Niji Hyuga my golem, ancient gear fist. Not quite, Professor. Niji, rotation. Naruto grinned as Niji slipped into another stance and spun around, deflecting the attack. What? Crowler exclaimed in shock. Once per turn Niji can negate a single attack targeting him. Naruto explained as Crowler frowned. Very well then. I will end my turn there. Crowler LP. 2600. Naruto LP. 4000. By draw. Naruto nodded as he drew and nodded his head at his draw. I'll summon out Konoha Chunin. Rock LE 1900 at 1200 def in attack mode and equip him with the spell card 8 Inner Gates. This will increase his attack by 500 points and give him damage piercing abilities as well. Next in Yugi appeared the green spandex wearing bushy brows that immediately gave Crowler the nice guy pose before the effect of the equip card triggered and his skin turned red and his eyes completely white. Now I will play one card face down and end my turn there. Naruto finished as he set the card. Quantity isn't enough to stop my golem Mr. Uzumaki. Crowler warned as he started his turn. Now my golem, destroy Rock Lee. Naruto took the loss of Lee stoically as he watched the ancient gear golem punch Lee. Crowler LP. 2600. Naruto LP. 3400. Naruto drew his next card and with a large grin he began his turn. Game over. I'll start by activating my spell card Will of Fire. Naruto began as the face down card activated, revealing an image of the konoha symbol with the konoha in the background. This card allows me to either add one card with konoha in its name from my graveyard to my deck to my hand, or from my hand to the field. So I'll be special summoning out something with a lot more muscle. Allow me to introduce Konoha Jonin. Miato GAI 2800 at 2500 def. The older green spandex shinobi appeared in the same fashion as Lee and Naruto soon continued, and this is where things get good. I'll equip him with the Gate of Death equip card. Much like the 8 Gates card, this will give him an increase in attack points and damage piercing capabilities, but the key difference is the amount. Instead of a 500 attack increase, this card will double his attack. I then released a red mist around his body and gained the red skin and wide eyes that Lee had earlier. Now then, let's end this game with a bang night guy. I was soon wrapped in a flickering red dragon chakra coating as he charged the ancient gear golem and struck with a kick that was so powerful that everyone winced as the shockwave hit them and the ancient gear soldier was sent flying as it disappeared and the backlash struck Crowler, dropping his life points to 0. Aim, set, match. Naruto nodded as he turned off the duel disc and let his gaze wander the crowd to see the stunned faces of the students as they saw Crowler lose twice now to 2 different freshmen. Impressive. Zane nodded in respect. That was insane. Alexa said, shaking her head. Only your cyber end dragon made with power bond would be stronger. Maybe, but I am willing to bet he would find a way to counter it. And I also am willing to bet that he could make that card even more powerful. What makes you say that? His deck plays on itself, using other cards to increase the powers of each other. Look at his first duel when he managed to get 3 high-level monsters out onto the field in one turn. His deck is one that is tricky to stop if you don't overpower him quickly. Zane replied calmly, and that is only the first deck. He has 7 others that we haven't even seen yet. That is kind of worrying. What if they are all that tough? Then we might be looking at the future king of games. Zane replied as he walked away. Alexis blinked at Zane's statement and followed after the older duelist. Naruto nodded at Crowler, who was still stunned that he had lost again, before speaking. Well done. He finally got out. Of course I took it easy on you. Sure you did. Naruto chuckled as he walked away, and so did I. What? Crowler shouted. I had 2 possible routes to take on this one. I chose one that would be the simplest compared to one that was the fastest. How is the fastest not the simplest? The faster version was to take control of all your monsters and destroy you with them. Naruto replied as he lifted a hand in farewell. I'll be calling it a night. See you tomorrow, Professor. Days well spent. Several weeks had passed since Naruto had first started classes at Duel Academy, and his thoughts that the dorms were biased were proving more and more correct. Most of the students were pretty decent, but those that were in the Slifer Red dorm were often verbally berated if they didn't know an answer, while those in Obelisk Blue were allowed to get away with almost everything that you could think of. Needless to say, Naruto was quickly becoming a thorn in many teachers' sides, as he would not hesitate to call them out on their favoritism. In front of the class, no less. That wasn't even to mention all the pranks that he pulled on them that they could never seem to trace back to him, though they suspected his hand in every last one of them. Come on, we have to have a duel. Jaden complained as Naruto was laying on the roof of the school. Nope. This right here, this is lazy time. Naruto chuckled. Can't argue that. Chumlee, a third-year Slifer Red student, agreed from where he was laying nearby. See? He's got the right idea. Naruto stated. But you promised me a duel. Jaden remarked. Besides, I really want a chance to see one of those other decks that you have. Is that right? Naruto grinned. Tell you what, the next time I get in a duel I will use a different deck and you can see it for yourself. Sweet. Jaden laughed. That placated Jaden enough for him to lay back and enjoy the day of hooky that they were enjoying. The next day however was the promotion exams, and as Naruto was walking towards the arena, he was stopped by Chancellor Shepard. "Ah, Naruto. I wanted to talk to you." He smiled. "Why's that?" Naruto asked with a frown, praying that he wasn't about to get in trouble for the paint balloon that he had rigged over Crawler's door the night before. "I would like you to duel one of our raw yellows today," he began. "Oh, sure. Who did you have in mind?" Naruto asked. "Bastion Misawa," Shepard answered. Naruto frowned as he tried to place the name to a face, and after a few moments it finally clicked and he knew that he might be interesting. "Sure, I can face him," Naruto agreed. "Excellent. I'll have you two set up near the end." Shepard laughed as he patted Naruto's shoulder and walked off. Smirking, Naruto decided that now is a good time to switch up the decks, and instead of grabbing his Konoha deck, he opened one of the other deck cases on his belt, this one with a light brown band around it, and placed it in the duel disc as he waited for his turn. They were one of the last groups brought up and Naruto faced the freshman Ra, and a grin played at the corners of his mouth as they activated their duel discs. "First move is yours," Naruto replied as he drew his opening hand and nodded his head at the hand. "If that is arrogance at work then it will be your downfall," Bastion exclaimed as he drew and nodded his head at the opening hand. "I'll start by summoning Bistro Butcher at 1800 def 1000 in attack mode and playing a card face down, ending my turn." Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. "Not bad." Naruto nodded as he drew his card and grinned at his opening hand, "But you're going to have to get creative to best me. I'll start by playing a monster face down and then one card face down. Your turn." Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. "Defensive? Not a good hand then?" Bastion asked as he drew. "You'll just have to wait and see, won't you?" "I guess so. I'll summon out my Vorse Raider AC. 1900 def. 1200 in attack mode. Now Vorse Raider, cut his monster down." Naruto only grinned as the card flipped and a familiar and slightly terrifying sight revealed itself as a red-haired youth with a giant gourd on his back appeared, with a swirling wall of sand around him. As the Vorse Raider swung his weapon at the wall of sand, it wrapped around him and crushed the Vorse Raider before returning to its original position, leaving Bastion very confused as to what happened. "Allow me to introduce you to Suna Genin. Gaara no Subaku AC. 1500 def. 2300 and his special effect. Anytime Gaara is attacked with an attack that is lower than his defense, that monster gets destroyed." Naruto replied as Bastion blinked in shock at this and saw his life points drop. "I'll end my turn there," Bastion said, already working on a new plan. Bastion LP. 3600. Naruto LP. 4000. "I draw." Naruto began as he looked at his hand and with a nod began his next turn. "I'll start by activating my spell card Desert Burial." Playing the card revealed a wall of sand heading towards a small group of monsters, while on the field, Gaara raised his right hand towards Bastion. "This spell allows me to destroy one card you control for every Gaara no Subaku, Rasa or Sandaime Kazukiage card on the field. So let's say goodbye to your face down card." Bastion ran the odds and in the end realized that it was best to lose the card, then leave himself defenseless to whatever Naruto was planning on doing next, and allowed his ring of destruction to be crushed by the sand. "Oh, that could have been messy," Naruto admitted, "but you lost as soon as I made my draw." "What do you mean?" Bastion frowned. "Actions speak louder than words. So I first sent Suna Genin. Gaara no Subaku to the graveyard to special summon out Sunagadim Kazukiage. Gaara no Subaku AC. 2500 def. 3300 in attack mode." In a swirl of sand the young Gaara disappeared and his older counterpart stood there, calm and collected with his Kazukiage hat hanging from the belt that also held his gourd. "Next up, I equip him with the spell Gold Dust, increasing his attack and defense by 700 points AC. 3200 def. 4000. As the spell started, Gaara's sand gained a golden quality to it, glittering in the light as it swirled. "Finally, I summon out Suna Anbu. Yashamaru AC. 1900 def. 1000, which will reveal Gaara's new effect, increasing his attack by 300 points for every monster with Suna in its name AC. 3500 def. 4000. As Gaara's uncle appeared next to him, Gaara seemed to gain confidence and strength as his intent to destroy his opponent could be seen in his eyes. "Now let's get started, Yashamaru, take down that Bistro Butcher." Yashamaru simply reached to his side and sent a barrage of kunai flying into the blue-skinned fiend, taking another 100 life points from Bastion. Bastion LP. 3500. Naruto LP. 4000. "Now Gaara, finish him off." Sant Tsunami. Gaara only frowned as he placed a hand on the ground and all the sand emerged from his gourd and mixed with the gold dust, rose up to make a giant wave that went crashing down on Bastion, who was stunned at the sudden and overwhelming strike that Naruto delivered. Bastion LP. 0. Naruto LP. 4000. Aim, set, match. Naruto nodded as he deactivated the disc and walked over to Bastion with a nod. Good game. Thanks, I didn't realize I was that outclassed. Bastion sighed, shaking his head. I was lucky to draw the Kazekage version of Gaara there. Otherwise that would likely have taken much longer. Naruto admitted. So is Tsunagata Kazekage. Gaara no Subaku was your strongest card. You mentioned Rasa and Sandaime Kazekage when you activated your Desert Burial card. He is one of my strongest. Naruto admitted, and those other two are pretty powerful themselves, but I have a few cards in here that can be pretty dangerous themselves. Incredible. I thought I had you all figured out as a speed duelist. I hadn't realized that you had a deck with defensive capabilities like that. I have a few different decks. Switch them up to keep from being predictable. Naruto explained. I have a few decks too. Bastion said as they started to leave. What are your decks based on? Stories I used to tell. Naruto replied, each one tells a different part of the tale. Yours? Mine are based on the various elements. I was using my dark deck against you. Ah. Dark monsters tend to have a lot of attack power behind them. Naruto mused, but that comes with a downside at the same time. Perhaps, but all cards have a weakness if you know what to look for. True enough. My decks have weaknesses, but it's exploiting them that is difficult. Naruto agreed. The two continued chatting amiably for a few more minutes before heading their different ways for the day, though Naruto promised a rematch at a later date if he was interested. At night Naruto sat on the roof of the obelisk dorm, his eyes staring up at the sky and his mind wandering back home to Konoha again as he wondered what had happened in the aftermath of the war and if everyone was alright. Last time he had seen almost everybody, they were being trapped in the infinite Tsukuyomi and he wondered if they were freed after Kagaya had been defeated. Deep thoughts? A voice asked as Naruto turned his gaze to see Zane coming onto the roof as well. Kind of. Naruto admitted. What are you still doing up? Couldn't sleep. Zane shrugged as he sat next to the blonde. What's your excuse? Don't have one really. Just like coming up here I guess. Surprised you haven't set up a prank from up here. Zane noted and that got a surprised look from the blonde. How do you know it was me? I saw you set up that paint balloon over Professor Crowler's door. And you didn't rat me out? No. You're only targeting students and teachers that pick on any student that isn't an obelisk blue. I don't approve, but I won't sell you out. You're alright, you know that. Naruto smirked. If you say so. Zane chuckled. So why prank them? I hear from Alexis that you cause enough disruptions in class to make your point. Actions speak louder than words. Naruto smiled. Most people won't change just because someone tells them to change, you have to show them that actions have consequences. That is what I am doing, showing them what happens when you're a bully. And it's only hurting their pride anyways. True enough. Zane nodded. I saw your duel with Bastion by the way. An interesting deck. Isuna deck? Yeah, it is pretty interesting. Offensive? Partially. Gaara makes up a part of the deck, but there is a whole other side to it that makes it very dangerous. How so? That would be telling. Naruto chuckled. I don't reveal my cards unless I'm dueling. Fair enough. Zane smirked. So you've shown two different decks, one that relies heavily on special summoning and increasing attack power, and the other is some kind of defensive deck. Seems like each deck plays to a different style. They do to a degree. The blonde nodded. Each deck is different and each deck has its own playing style. It's what makes them so dangerous and me so unpredictable. You can never know in advance what deck I'll be using and because of that it makes it very hard to design a deck that will counteract any of mine. But what makes them really difficult to stop is the fact that they play off of themselves, not just the Konoha deck but all of them. Makes it hard to stop an opponent that can special summon out multiple monsters in short order. Unless they stop you from special summoning or stop you from using certain types of cards. Zane noted. They can try, but that is easier said than done. Naruto replied as he leaned back to stare at the stars some more. Zane took this as a sign that he was done talking and decided to follow suit, leaning back as well and just stared up at the star-covered sky and letting the world spin on. Days well spent. Several weeks had passed since Naruto had first started classes at Duel Academy and his thoughts that the dorms were biased were proving more and more correct. Most of the students were pretty decent, but those that were in the Slifer Red dorm were often verbally berated if they didn't know an answer, while those in Obelisk Blue were allowed to get away with almost everything that you could think of. Needless to say, Naruto was quickly becoming a thorn in many teachers' sides as he would not hesitate to call them out on their favoritism. In front of the class no less. That wasn't even to mention all the pranks that he pulled on them that they could never seem to trace back to him, though they suspected his hand in every last one of them. "Come on, we have to have a duel," Jaden complained as Naruto was laying on the roof of the school. "Nope. This right here, this is lazy time." Naruto chuckled. "Can't argue that." Chum-Lee, a third-year Slifer Red student, agreed from where he was laying nearby. "See? He's got the right idea," Naruto stated. "But you promised me a duel," Jaden remarked. "Besides, I really want a chance to see one of those other decks that you have." "Is that right?" Naruto grinned. "Tell you what, the next time I get in a duel I will use a different deck and you can see it for yourself." "Sweet." Jaden laughed. That placated Jaden enough for him to lay back and enjoy the day of hooky that they were enjoying. The next day, however, was the promotion exams, and as Naruto was walking towards the arena, he was stopped by Chancellor Shepard. "Ah, Naruto. I wanted to talk to you." He smiled. "Why's that?" Naruto asked with a frown, praying that he wasn't about to get in trouble for the paint balloon that he had rigged over Crowler's door the night before. "I would like you to duel one of our raw yellows today," he began. "Oh, sure. Who did you have in mind?" Naruto asked. "Bastion Misawa," Shepard answered. Naruto frowned as he tried to place the name to a face, and after a few moments it finally clicked and he knew that he might be interesting. "Sure, I can face him," Naruto agreed. "Excellent. I'll have you two set up near the end." Shepard laughed as he patted Naruto's shoulder and walked off. Smirking, Naruto decided that now is a good time to switch up the decks, and instead of grabbing his Konoha deck, he opened one of the other deck cases on his belt, this one with a light brown band around it, and placed it in the duel disc as he waited for his turn. They were one of the last groups brought up and Naruto faced a freshman Ra, and a grin played at the corners of his mouth as they activated their duel discs. "First move is yours," Naruto replied as he drew his opening hand and nodded his head at the hand. "If that is arrogance at work, then it will be your downfall," Bastion exclaimed as he drew and nodded his head at the opening hand. "I'll start by summoning Bistro Butcher at 1800 def 1000 in attack mode and playing a card face down, ending my turn." Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. "Not bad." Naruto nodded as he drew his card and grinned at his opening hand, "But you're going to have to get creative to best me. I'll start by playing a monster face down and then one card face down. Your turn." Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. "Offensive? Not a good hand then?" Bastion asked as he drew. "You'll just have to wait and see, won't you?" "I guess so. I'll summon out my Vorse Raider AC. 1900 def. 1200 in attack mode. Now Vorse Raider, cut his monster down." Naruto only grinned as the card flipped and a familiar and slightly terrifying sight revealed itself as a red-haired youth with a giant gourd on his back appeared, with a swirling wall of sand around him. As the Vorse Raider swung his weapon at the wall of sand, it wrapped around him and crushed the Vorse Raider before returning to its original position, leaving Bastion very confused as to what happened. "Allow me to introduce you to Suna Genin. Gaara no Subaku AC. 1500 def. 2300 and his special effect. Anytime Gaara is attacked with an attack that is lower than his defense, that monster gets destroyed." Naruto replied as Bastion blinked in shock at this and saw his life points drop. "I'll end my turn there," Bastion said, already working on a new plan. Bastion LP. 3600. Naruto LP. 4000. "I draw." Naruto began as he looked at his hand and with a nod began his next turn. "I'll start by activating my spell card Desert Burial." Playing the card revealed a wall of sand heading towards a small group of monsters, while on the field, Gaara raised his right hand towards Bastion. "This spell allows me to destroy one card you control for every Gaara no Subaku, Rasa or Sandaime Kazukiage card on the field. So let's say goodbye to your face down card." Bastion ran the odds and in the end realized that it was best to lose the card, then leave himself defenseless to whatever Naruto was planning on doing next, and allowed his ring of destruction to be crushed by the sand. "Oh, that could have been messy," Naruto admitted, "but you lost as soon as I made my draw." "What do you mean?" Bastion frowned. "Actions speak louder than words. So I first sent Suna Genin. Gaara no Subaku to the graveyard to special summon out Sunagadim Kazukiage. Gaara no Subaku AC. 2500 def. 3300 in attack mode." In a swirl of sand, the young Gaara disappeared and his older counterpart stood there, calm and collected with his Kazukiage hat hanging from the belt that also held his gourd. "Next up, I equip him with the spell Gold Dust, increasing his attack and defense by 700 points AC. 3200 def. 4000. As the spell started, Gaara's sand gained a golden quality to it, glittering in the light as it swirled. "Finally, I summon out Suna Anbu. Yashamaru AC. 1900 def. 1000, which will reveal Gaara's new effect, increasing his attack by 300 points for every monster with Suna in its name attack. 3500, def. 4000. As Gaara's uncle appeared next to him, Gaara seemed to gain confidence and strength as his intent to destroy his opponent could be seen in his eyes. Now let's get started, Yashimaru, take down that bistro butcher. Yashimaru simply reached to his side and sent a barrage of kunai flying into the blue-skinned fiend, taking another 100 life points from Bastion. Bastion LP. 3500. Naruto LP. 4000. Now Gaara, finish him off. Sand tsunami. Gaara only frowned as he placed a hand on the ground and all the sand emerged from his gourd and mixed with the gold dust, rose up to make a giant wave that went crashing down on Bastion, who was stunned at the sudden and overwhelming strike that Naruto delivered. Bastion LP. 0. Naruto LP. 4000. Aim, set, match. Naruto nodded as he deactivated the disc and walked over to Bastion with a nod. Good game. Thanks, I didn't realize I was that outclassed. Bastion sighed, shaking his head. I was lucky to draw the Kazekage version of Gaara there. Otherwise that would likely have taken much longer. Naruto admitted. So is Suna Godime Kazekage. Gaara no Subaku was your strongest card. You mentioned Rasa and Sandame Kazekage when you activated your Desert Burial card. He is one of my strongest. Naruto admitted, and those other two are pretty powerful themselves, but I have a few cards in here that can be pretty dangerous themselves. Incredible. I thought I had you all figured out as a speed duelist. I hadn't realized that you had a deck with defensive capabilities like that. I have a few different decks. Switch them up to keep from being predictable. Naruto explained. I have a few decks too. Bastion said as they started to leave. What are your decks based on? Stories I used to tell. Naruto replied, each one tells a different part of the tale. Yours? Mine are based on the various elements. I was using my dark deck against you. Ah. Dark monsters tend to have a lot of attack power behind them. Naruto mused, but that comes with a downside at the same time. Perhaps, but all cards have a weakness if you know what to look for. True enough. My decks have weaknesses, but it's exploiting them that is difficult. Naruto agreed. The two continued chatting amiably for a few more minutes before heading their different ways for the day, though Naruto promised a rematch at a later date if he was interested. At night Naruto sat on the roof of the obelisk dorm, his eyes staring up at the sky and his mind wandering back home to Konoha again as he wondered what had happened in the aftermath of the war and if everyone was alright. Last time he had seen almost everybody, they were being trapped in the infinite Tsukiyomi, and he wondered if they were freed after Kagaya had been defeated. Deep thoughts? A voice asked as Naruto turned his gaze to see Zane coming onto the roof as well. Kind of. Naruto admitted. What are you still doing up? Couldn't sleep. Zane shrugged as he sat next to the blonde. What's your excuse? Don't have one really. Just like coming up here I guess. Surprised you haven't set up a prank from up here. Zane noted, and that got a surprised look from the blonde. How do you know it was me? I saw you set up that paint balloon over Professor Crowler's door. And you didn't rat me out? No. You're only targeting students and teachers that pick on any student that isn't an obelisk blue. I don't approve, but I won't sell you out. You're alright, you know that. Naruto smirked. If you say so. Zane chuckled. So why prank them? I hear from Alexis that you cause enough disruptions in class to make your point. Actions speak louder than words. Naruto smiled. Most people won't change just because someone tells them to change. You have to show them that actions have consequences. That is what I am doing, showing them what happens when you're a bully. And it's only hurting their pride anyways. True enough. Zane nodded. I saw your duel with Bastion by the way. An interesting deck. Suna deck? Yeah, it is pretty interesting. Defensive? Partially. Gaara makes up a part of the deck, but there is a whole other side to it that makes it very dangerous. How so? That would be telling. Naruto chuckled. I don't reveal my cards unless I'm dueling. Fair enough. Zane smirked. So you've shown two different decks, one that relies heavily on special summoning and increasing attack power, and the other is some kind of defensive deck. Seems like each deck plays to a different style. They do to a degree. The blonde nodded. Each deck is different and each deck has its own playing style. It's what makes them so dangerous and me so unpredictable. You can never know in advance what deck I'll be using, and because of that it makes it very hard to design a deck that will counteract any of mine. But what makes them really difficult to stop is the fact that they play off of themselves, not just the Konoha deck but all of them. Makes it hard to stop an opponent that can special summon out multiple monsters in short order. Unless they stop you from special summoning or stop you from using certain types of cards. Zane noted. They can try, but that is easier said than done. Naruto replied as he leaned back to stare at the stars some more. Zane took this as a sign that he was done talking and decided to follow suit, leaning back as well and just stared up at the star-covered sky and letting the world spin on. Konoha deck. Briex Konoha Genin. Naruto Uzumaki. Ak. 1500, def. 1000, elmt. Wind, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Duex Konoha Genin. Sasuke Chiha. Ak. 1800, def. 1200, elmt. Fire, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. When a card with the name Naruto Uzumaki is on the field, increase this card's attack by 300. Duex Konoha Chunin. Sakura Haruno. Ak. 2000, def. 1000, elmt. Water, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Once per turn you may increase your life points by 500, this card cannot attack the same turn that you use this effect, can only be used during main phase 1. Duex Konoha Jonin. Kakashi Haddock. Ak. 2600, def. 2000, elmt. Light, type. Warrior, LV. 7. Eft. Once per turn you can target one monster that your opponent controls and remove it from play. This card cannot attack during the same turn that you use this effect. Team 7. Spell. Eft. Can only be activated when cards with the name Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Chiha and Sakura Haruno are on the field. Destroy all monsters on your opponent's side of the field and increase your life points by 100 for each level of the destroyed monsters. Duex Konoha Chunin. Shino Aburum. Ak. 1800, def. 1500, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Insect monsters cannot attack this card or use effects on it. When this card destroys a monster, increase your life points by half of the monster's ATK. Duex Konoha Chunin. Kiba in Yuzuka. Ak. 1800, def. 1000, elmt. Earth, type beast warrior, LV. 4. Eft. This card can attack twice per turn. Duex Konoha Chunin. Hinata Hyuga. Ak. 1500, def. 2000, elmt. Water, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. When a card attacks this card while it is in defense position, destroy the attacking monster during the end of the damage step. If there is a card with the name Naruto Uzumaki on the field, increase the ATK and def of this card by 500 points each. Team 8. Spell card, normal type. Eft. This card can only be activated when Shino Aburum, Kiba in Yuzuka and Hinata Hyuga are all on the field. Reveal all face-down cards your opponent controls and destroy all trap and effect monsters. Duex Konoha Chunin. Choji Akamichi. Ak. 1900, def. 2000, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Once per turn, during the standby phase, place one butterfly counter on the card max 3. Increase the ATK and defense of this card by 500 for each counter on this card. Destroy this card during the end phase if it has 3 counters on it without a card with the name Shikamaru Nara or Ino Yamanaka on the field. Duex Konoha Chunin. Shikamaru Nara. Ak. 1200, def. 2000, elmt. Darkness, type warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Once per turn this card can take control of one monster your opponent controls. This card cannot attack while controlling an opponent's monster. Return control of the opponent's monsters when this card is destroyed. Duex Konoha Chunin. Ino Yamanaka. Ak. 1200, def. 1500, elmt. Light, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Once per turn you can take control of one monster your opponent controls max 1. This card cannot attack during the same turn that this effect is used. Return control of the opponent's monster when this card is destroyed. Team 10. This card can only be activated when Choji Akamichi, Shikamaru Nara and Ino Yamanaka are on the field. Destroy all cards on the field and remove them from play. Duex Konoha Toad Sage. Naruto Uzumaki. Ak. 2700. Def. 2000, elmt. Wind, type. Warrior, LV. 7. Eft. Send one Konoha Genin. Naruto Uzumaki from the field to the graveyard to special summon this card. This card cannot be destroyed in battle by any monster with less than 3000 attack. Duex Konoha Jinchuruki. Naruto Uzumaki. Ak. 3500, def. 2500, elmt. Wind, type warrior, LV. 9. Eft. Send one card with the name Naruto Uzumaki to the graveyard to special summon this card. Once per turn this card can either attack all monsters your opponent controls or negate the activation of an attack card effect that targets this card. Duex Konoha Chunin. Rock Lee. At 1900, def. 1200, elmt. Earth, Type. Warrior, LV. 4. Duex konoha chunin. Tenten. Ak. 1800, Def. 1500, Elmt. Earth, Type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Increase the AC of this card by 500 for every equip card equipped to it. This card can equip any equip card to it, no matter what it says on the equip card. Duex konoha jonin. Niji hyuga. AC. 2200, Def. 2100, Elmt. Light, Type. Warrior, LV. 6. Eft. This card has damage piercing abilities. Once per turn when this card is selected for an attack you can negate the attack. Konoha jonin. Miado Gai. AC. 2800, Def. 2500, Elmt. Earth, Type Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. When Konoha chunin. Rock Lee is on the field, increase the attack of this card by 500 points. When Konoha jonin. Kakashi Haddock is on the field, increase the AC of this card by 1000 points. Duex 8 Inner Gates. Equip spell card. Eft. Increase the attack of the monster this card is equipped with by 500 points. The equipped monster gains damage piercing abilities. Inflict 500 points of damage to your life points every standby phase if you cannot destroy this card and the equipped monster. 8 of Death. Equip spell card. Eft. Can only be equipped to Miado Gai. Double the total attack of the card that this card is equipped to. The equipped monster gains damage piercing abilities. Destroy the equipped monster during the end phase. Anaharut Soldier. Sai. AC. 1800, Def. 1500, Elmt. Dark, Type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Once per turn can place one RTOKEN 5 UAC 500 Def on your field. This card cannot be selected as an attack target while there are R tokens on the field. Anaharut Leader. Danzo. AC. 2800, Def. 2500, Elmt. Wind, Type Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. If this card would be destroyed, place one Izanagi counter on this card max 10 and negate the destruction of this card. Konoha Sandaime Hokage. Hizuran Sarutobi. AC. 2800, Def. 2600, Elmt. Fire, Type. Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. Treat this card as a wind, light, earth and water type as well. Increase the AC of this card by 100 points for each Konoha monster on the field except this card. Duex Konoha Yondaime Hokage. Minato Namikaze. AC. 2800, Def. 2500, Elmt. Light, Type. Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. Special summon this card from your hand if there is a Naruto Uzumaki or Kushina Uzumaki card on the field. This card can attack every monster on the field once. Konoha Godaime Hokage. Tsunade Senju. AC. 3000, Def. 2500, Elmt. Earth, Type. Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. This card has damage piercing abilities. Once per turn you can increase your life points by the AC of this card. This card cannot attack on the turn that this effect is used. Duex Konoha Jinchuruki. Kushina Uzumaki. AC. 2700, Def. 2300, Elmt. Light, Type Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. Special summon this card if there is a Naruto Uzumaki or Minato Namikaze card on the field. Increase the AC of this card by 300 points each Naruto Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze card on the field and in the graveyard. Konoha Spy Master. Jiraiya. AC. 2600, Def. 2500, Elmt. Fire, Type. Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. Special summon this card if there is a Naruto Uzumaki, Minato Namikaze, Tsunade Senju or Hizuran Sarutobi card on the field. While this card is on the field, negate the effects of all trap cards. Duex Jiraiya's Research. Spell. Eft. Reveal all face-down cards in your opponent's spell and trap card zone. Destroy all trap cards. Duex Konohagakure no Sado. Field Spell. Eft. Increase the AC of all Konoha monsters by 500 points. Decrease the summoning cost of all Konoha monsters by 1. 3x underneath the underneath. Counter Trap. Eft. When an opponent declares an attack, negate the attack and destroy the attacking monster. Sharingan Eye. Equip card. Eft. Can only be equipped to a card with a Uchiha in its name. Increase the AC of the equipped monster by 500 points. Once per turn if the equipped monster would be destroyed it isn't, damage applies normally. Hyubi no Kitsune. Kurama. AC. 4000, Def. 4000, Elmt. Fire, Type. Divine, LV. 10. Eft. This card can be special summoned by sending one Kushina Uzumaki or Naruto Uzumaki card to the graveyard. If special summoned by Konoha Jinchuruki. Naruto Uzumaki increase the attack of this card by 1000. If this card is destroyed by battle, banish one Kushina Uzumaki or Naruto Uzumaki card from the graveyard to special summon this card during your next standby phase. Do X Will of Fire. Spell. Eft. Add one Konoha card from your deck to your hand, your graveyard to your deck, or from your hand to the field. Do X Cage Bunshin no Jutsu. Spell. Eft. Target one monster card you control. Make as many tokens as there are open field spaces. Tokens will have the monster's name, AC, def, elm, type and level, but will not have any effects. Return to the pure world. Spell. Eft. Return all card on the field, graveyard, hand and removed from play to their owner's deck. Shuffle and draw 5 cards. Total count. 59 cards. Best of the best. Naruto let out a content sigh as he laid back on his bed. It had been a few weeks since the tag duel had occurred with Jaden and Cirrus managing to beat the Paradox brothers, a feat that Naruto had no doubt they would do. He had been worried, but his duel with them had settled all of his doubts once and for all, and it seemed that Cirrus was well on his way to becoming a truly formidable duelist. However, the reason for his contentment was the fact that the room was all his now, since Chaz had run off after having suffered defeat at the hands of Bastion. Naruto had been looking forward to a new roommate since he was sure that Bastion would have been a lot less annoying than Chaz had been to Naruto, but he had declined the promotion and thus Naruto on his own. Well, might as well see what's on. Naruto mused as he clicked on the TV and started scrolling through the guide when his eyes stopped on one particular item. It was pay-per-view, but for this he would gladly suffer a lecture from his dad for spending money like that. The item that held his gaze was the Japanese Pro Championship, with the winner of the tournament facing off against Yugi Muto and his Battle City deck for the deck's final duel. Grinning from ear to ear, Naruto marked it in the DVR before getting up and heading for the door. With it being winter break now, most of the students had gone home for the holidays, but quite a few were still around and the group that Naruto was going to grab were still there. Walking towards the smaller building, Naruto walked first towards the Slifer Red dining hall and opened the door to see Professor Banner sitting there with his cat. "Ah, hello Naruto." Banner smiled. "Professor." Naruto nodded back. He liked the teacher and had spoken with him a few times about alchemical dueling and the possibility of entering parallel worlds. He hadn't had many answers, but plenty of theories that Naruto enjoyed speaking with him about. "So what brings you by?" he asked. "I'm looking for Jaden and Cirrus. They around? They should be in their room asleep. We had quite the night last night." Banner chuckled. "Oh? This sounds like quite the story." Naruto grinned. "I'll ask them about it later." "So what do you need them for?" "I was going to invite them over to my dorm. There's a duel on that I wanted to have them over to watch." "Oh? Who's competing?" "Japanese championship." Naruto answered and saw the teacher grin wider. "I see. Well, you boys enjoy the duels." He laughed. Saying goodbye, Naruto walked up to their door and began rapping at it until he heard the groaning and complaining before Cirrus opened the door with a bleary look. "Naruto? What are you doing here?" "Betting you and your lazy bones roommates." Naruto grinned. "Get dressed and get the let out. There's a duel to watch." "Duel?" Jaden called out. "Who's dueling?" "I got the Japanese championship on pay-per-view and I am dragging you lot to my dorm to watch." "The championship?" Jaden laughed as he leapt out his bunk. "We are there." "Good, get dressed so we can go grab Bastion and some snackage." The blonde nodded as he stepped back and let them close the door. It took them a few moments with Chumli joining them as they walked to the raw yellow dorm now. Unlike the others, Bastion was already awake when they arrived and once he was following behind them, they were on their way into the main building where Ms. Dorothy was still selling food. Naruto paid for everything himself and once their arms were loaded with food and drink they were on their way to the obelisk blue dorm. "So who's dueling?" Bastion asked. "Didn't believe it till I saw it myself, but it's my Valentine against Joey Wheeler." Naruto chuckled. "Those two haven't faced off against each other since the World Championship 7 years ago. Mai tends to stick around the American Pro Circuit." "Wow. This is going to be awesome." Jaden grinned as they walked in and the four were stunned by the opulence of the dorm. "Boy, get the let out." Naruto called back to them as they walked up the stairs to the second level. Walking towards his room, Naruto blinked when he saw Zane and Alexis in front of his door. "Oh, there you are." Alexis smiled. "You looking for me?" Naruto asked. "I was hoping for a practice duel with you," she admitted. "Sorry, not today." Naruto chuckled sheepishly. "Pay-per-view." "Oh? What duel?" Zane asked with a raised eyebrow. "Mai versus Joey." Those 3 words got wide-eyed looks out of the two as they saw Naruto opening the door and looking at them with a raised eyebrow of his own. "Now you coming in or what?" "You're inviting us too?" Alexis blinked. Duels are more fun with good company," Naruto replied. Trading looks, the pair walked into the room and helped take everything out of the plastic bags to get the food and drinks all out. This is awesome. Cyrus remarked as he looked around the room, won't your roommate be mad when he sees us all? Hard to be mad when he isn't here. Alexis snorted. Chaz was his roommate. Oh. Jaden blinked. Yeah, and the replacement chose to not get promoted. Naruto grinned as he elbowed Bastion. Might be a good thing. He has a habit of writing formulas on the walls. Cyrus laughed. It helps me calculate strategy. Bastion exclaimed. If you say so. Naruto grinned as he tossed him a can of soda. Well, let's get the duel on. They'll be starting soon since this is a 2-for-1 deal. 2-for-1? Chumlee frowned. You didn't hear? Alexis blinked. This is the king of games' last duel with his Battle City deck. Whoa. Cyrus whistled. You mean? Yeah. This is one for the ages. Zane nodded as he leaned forward in the chair he had grabbed. Thank you, Naruto. Hey, don't worry about it. The chewing out from my dad will be well worth it later. Naruto grinned as he put the channel on and the announcer started speaking. Welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Japanese Pro Circuit Finals. It has been a long and difficult journey for these many duelists that have come from all over the world for a chance to face off against the legendary king of games himself, Yugi. Fighting their way up through the ranks, we are now down to our final 2 duelists. Mai Valentine, a regular on the international circuit as well as the American circuit, has made a strong showing of herself, as is only fitting of one of the quarter-finalists of the original Battle City. Her Harpy Lady deck is still as vicious as it was back then, and her skills have only improved over these past few years. Her opponent tonight is the Japanese champion himself, Joey Wheeler. Joey has had an impressive dueling career, having made his debut in the Duelist Kingdom and worked his way up in the rankings and is now considered one of the 5 strongest duelists in the world. The announcer then went on to show clips of their various duels during the tournament before stopping as the lights dimmed in the Kabadome and he began announcing their arrival in the red box, a duelist as beautiful as she is skilled. Her harpies will tear apart any that cross her, we give you the one and only Mai Valentine. At that, Mai walked out of the tunnel and to the red box on the ground, her posture and face showing nothing but confidence, and her opponent, he's the Japanese champion, a man whose luck knows no bounds. We give you Joey the Gambler Wheeler. And now Joey walked out, a cocky grin on his face as he waved at the crowd before stopping in the blue box and nodding his head to Mai, a sort of fencer's salute that Mai returned as well. May the best duelist win. The first move is mine, Joseph. Mai called out as she drew her cards and nodded at her hand, and I'll start this off by summoning out my Amazonas swords WOMANAC. 1500, def. 1600, in attack mode. In a flash the dark-skinned woman appeared, her sword held at the ready. Then I'll play 2 cards face down. My LP. 4000. Joey LP. 4000. Then I draw. Joey grinned as he drew his card and seemed to be coming up with a quick strategy. First I'll play my spell card Giant Trinade, so let's get rid of those face down cards. But the activation came a whirlwind over the field that caused the 2 cards to disappear and letting Joey continue his turn. Then I summon out my marauding CAPTAINAC. 1200, def. 400, in attack mode and activate his effect to special summon out 1 level 4 or lower warrior type monster, so let's say hello to my rocket WARRIORAC. 1500, def. 1300, in attack mode as well. In a flash the armored human appeared and next to him the smaller rocket warrior. Now rocket warrior, attack her Amazonas swords woman. Rocket strike. And dancing down into its rocket shape it launched itself at the Amazon, who met the charge with a swing of her sword, destroying both monsters in a flash of light. Now marauding captain, attack her directly. Joey called out as the warrior rushed in, swinging his sword at Mai and taking a small chunk of life points. Now I'll play a card face down and activate my Continua spell card Dangerous Machine 6. In a flash of light a large machine appeared on the field with 6 different circles. This won't trigger until my standby phase, so I'll end my turn there. My LP. 2800. Joey LP. 4000. Not bad, Joseph, but I won't be going down that easily. Mai remarked with a smirk of her own. I'll start things off by summoning out my Cyber Harpy LADYAC. 1800, def. 1300, in attack mode and activate my spell card Elegant Egotist. So say hello to my Harpy Lady sisters. In a flash of light the Cyber Harpy Lady was joined by the Harpy Lady sisters, who landed on the same space and looked ready to tear into Joey. I hope you're ready, Joseph, because I'm not going easy on you. Cyber Harpy Lady attack his marauding captain. I'm not going easy on you either, Mai. Joey exclaimed, you activated my trap card Chasm of Spikes. So now your Cyber Harpy Lady is destroyed and you take a quarter of its attack as damage. Mai blinked as the pit opened in front of her monster and cringed slightly as it fell into the trap. Then my Harpy Lady sisters will have to finish off your monster. With that the three winged beasts charged and slashed apart the monster, dealing a decent amount of damage to Joey. Then I'll play those two cards face down again and end my turn. My LP. 2350. Joey LP. 3250. Then I draw. Joey nodded and the effect of my dangerous machine 6 activates. So let's see what the effect is going to be. With that the roulette on the machine started to spin, flashing from number to number until it finally stopped on the third option, number 3, so now I draw another card. Drawing the card, Joey seemed to have an idea and nodded at it as he looked at his hand. I'll start by playing my Monster Reborn spell card to bring back my Marauding Captain in attack mode, then I tribute him in order to summon out Yugioh. 2400, def. 1500 in attack mode. In a flash the revived captain was sent back to the graveyard and in his place stood the intimidating visage of Jinzo. Mai looked like she wanted to curse at the sight of Joey's new monster, and that could only mean that the face-down cards had been traps and she didn't have a counter at the ready for one of Joey's more dangerous cards. Okay Jinzo, let's take care of those harpies. Psychic shot. With that command Jinzo generated a blast of psychic energy that smashed into the 3 harpies and destroyed them. I'll end my turn there. My LP. 1900. Joey LP. 3250. Mai frowned as she looked at her hand after she drew and then smirked as she met Joey's gaze. I hope you're ready for this, Joseph, because I'm about to destroy that precious monster of yours. Mai grinned. I start by summoning out my Amazonas FIGHTR 1500, def. 1300 in attack mode. The newest Amazon was well muscled and had no weapon compared to the previous one, but this one also had a much more confident smirk on its face, one that almost matched the one on Mai's. Then I activate my spell card Amazonas Spellcaster. This card will let me switch the base attacks of our 2 monsters. A beam of light connected the 2 monsters now as the Amazonas fighter grew larger, while Jinzo grew weaker as their attacks were switched. Now take out his Jinzo, Amazonian Punch. Rushing forward the Amazonas fighter slammed a fist into Jinzo's face and shattered it, while the shockwave smashed into Joey. It's your move now, Joseph. My LP. 1900. Joey LP. 2350. Joey drew his card and glanced over at his dangerous machine 6 as it started its roulette again, this time landing on a 6. Oh man. Joey groaned as the machine was destroyed by its own effect. Well, got to keep moving. Looking at his hand, Joey seemed to reach a decision. I'll play a monster face down and end my turn. My LP. 1900. Joey LP. 2350. Mai frowned at the face down monster and then at the cards in her own hand, running scared. Joseph. Or is this some clever trap? I ain't tellin'. Joey grinned impishly as Mai's eye twitched. Well, either way it won't change a thing. Mai replied. I summon out another cyber harpy lady in attack mode and let her take care of your face down monster. Bad call, Mai. Joey said as the monster flipped face up. You just attacked my fiber jar and triggered its effect. In a flash the unusual looking jar appeared and a whirlwind appeared around the entire field. When fiber jar is flipped face up, every card on the field, in the graveyard and in our hands, gets put back into the deck and shuffled. Then we both get 5 cards. Mai's eyes widened at the revelation as the entire field was cleared and they both had a fresh hand. Annoyed, Mai looked at her cards and decided on a course of action. I summoned out my harpy Lady at 1300, def. 1400 in defense mode and play 1 card face down. It's your turn now. My LP. 1900. Joey LP. 2350. Drawing his card, Joey seemed to have a plan again and was ready to press the second chance he had. I'll start by activating my ritual spell card Dark Dragon Ritual. Joey played his card, bringing up 2 torch-like altars and a large area of darkness overhead, sending a 4-star monster from my hand to the graveyard to now bring out my Knight of Dark Dragon at 1900, def. 1200 in attack mode. Now attack her harpy lady. Not going to happen, Joseph. Mai countered. You've triggered my trap card Mirror Wall. What? Joey exclaimed. That's right, now your monster loses half of its attack points. Mai grinned. And it's not strong enough to defeat my harpy lady now. Ugh. Joey grunted as the attack continued and his life points dipped. I'll play 1 card face down and end my turn. My LP. 1900. Joey LP. 1900. Mai drew her card and seemed to like what she had in her hand first. Since I can't pay to keep my mirror wall up, it goes to the graveyard now. Hope you're ready, Joseph, because I'm going to end any hope of winning you have here. I activate my elegant egotist card to bring out my harpy lady sisters, then I tribute them to summon out my harpies pet the Ragon 2000, def. 2500 in attack mode. Now destroy his Knight of Dark Dragon. Joey took the hit with minimal complaint before triggering his trap card. Not bad, Mai, but I'm not done yet either. I activate my time machine trap card. So let's bring back my Knight of Dark Dragon in attack mode. In a cloud of purple smoke the time machine appeared, opening its doors so the warrior could step out of it, still ready to battle. It won't change a thing, Joseph. Mai stated. I'll play a card face down and end my turn. My LP. 1900. Joey LP. 1800. I draw. Joey said sorry Mai, but the duel ends here. I start by activating my spell card Energy Drain. Playing the card, a giant hand appeared, with energy coming from it towards the Harpy's pet dragon. With this card, I get to draw one more card and drop your monster's attack to 0. No. Mai exclaimed as her dragon collapsed on the ground, looking weak and exhausted. Now Knight of Dark Dragon, destroy her monster. Dark Dragon slash. Charging forward, the ritual monster struck with a powerful blow that wiped out the last of Mai's life points. And the winner is Joey Wheeler. The announcer exclaimed as the crowd roared. The announcer continued to talk as Joey walked over and shook hands with Mai, their dialogue unheard, but it seemed that they were ending things on a positive note with no hard feelings between them. Walking into the red box now, Joey turned to face across the field as the lights dimmed and a spotlight shined on the corridor running under the stands. Ladies and gentlemen. The moment that you have all been waiting for. We present to you, the man, the myth, the legend. The one and only king of games, Yugi Muto. With a roar of approval, Yugi walked out, a smile on his face as he did, his eyes locked ahead on Joey as the two nodded to one another. There was no need for words between them, nothing needed to be said. They had done this many times over the years and despite it all their friendship remained untarnished. It took a moment for the crowd to quiet as the two duelists drew their cards. First move goes to the challenger Yug. Joey grinned as he drew his card, and I'm not pulling any punches. I'll start by summoning out Gearfried the Iron Knight at 1800, def. 1600 in attack mode and then play a card face down. Joey LP. 4000. Yugi LP. 4000. Then I draw. Yugi stated and start by playing my Change of Heart spell card and take control of your Gearfried. Playing the spell card, the half-angel half-demon appeared and possessed Gearfried the Iron Knight, bringing him to Yugi's side of the field. Then I tribute him in order to summon out my Beast of Gilfer at 2200, def. 2500 in attack mode. In Gearfried's place appeared the larger fiend with a vicious snarl, and now my Beast of Gilfer attack Joey directly. I won't be going down that easy. I activate my trap card Nutrient Z. The face down card lifted up revealing the capsule. This increases my life points by 4000 before damage calculation. Meaning you have more life points now than when we started. Yugi nodded as the attack hit. Well played, Joey. It's too early to be losing this duel. Joey grinned. Then I'll play 2 cards face down and end my turn. Joey LP. 5800. Yugi LP. 4000. Okay, let's see what we got. Joey stated as he started his turn. I'll play Monster Reborn to bring back my Gearfried the Iron Knight in attack mode, then I activate my spell card Release Restraint. As Gearfried appeared, a flash of light appeared around him as his armor started to fall away. This lets me special summon Gearfried the SWORDMASTER at 2600, def. 2200 in attack mode. The last of the armor disappeared and the powerful warrior stood in front of Joey. Then I equip him with a legendary sword, increasing his attack and defense by 300 at 2900, def. 2500 and activating his effect, destroying one monster you control. So let's get rid of that Beast of Gilfer. In a flash of light as the sword was in Gearfried's hands, he swung the weapon and the energy from the slash destroyed the fiend monster across from him. And you trigger the Beast of Gilfer's effect. He now equips himself to your monster, making him lose 500 attack points. Yugi replied as the spirit of his monster appeared around Gearfried at 2400, def. 2500. Yeah, but you are wide open. Joey grinned. Gearfried, attack him directly. Not as easy as you think, Joey. I activate my trap card Spellbinding Circle, trapping your monster. Yugi declared, revealing the trap card and sending the spell seal flying into Gearfried the Swordmaster, trapping him in place. Darn it. Well, I'll play one more card face down and end my turn. Joey grumbled. Joey LP. 5800. Yugi LP. 4000. Like you said, Joey, it's too early for this duel to end. Yugi smiled as he drew his card. I'll summon Gamma the Magnet WARRIOR at 1500, def. 1800 in defense mode and end my turn. Joey LP. 5800. Yugi LP. 4000. Joey drew his card quietly as he looked at his hand and thought. Well, since I can't stop your trap, I might as well bypass it. Joey nodded. I tribute Gearfried the Swordmaster to summon out Maximum SIX at 1900, def. 1600 in attack mode. Then his effect triggers. By a roll of the dice, he gains 200 at times the number shown. So let's roll. As Gearfried disappeared and was replaced by the blue 6-armed monster, a dice appeared and rolled revealing ONE at 2100, def. 1600. Now maximum 6, destroy his Gamma the Magnet Warrior. Joey grinned as the 6-armed warrior struck with a powerful blow, smashing the Magnet Warrior to pieces. I'll end my turn there. Joey LP. 5800. Yugi LP. 4000. Not bad Joey. Yugi nodded as he drew his card, but can you stop this? I start by playing my Pot of Greed to draw 2 more cards. Then I play my Soul Taker spell card, allowing me to tribute one of your monsters to summon one of my own, while you gain an additional 1000 life points. So I tribute your maximum 6 to summon out my summoned SKULL at 2500, def. 1200 in attack mode. As Joey's monster disappeared, Yugi's summoned skull emerged in flashes of lightning. Now my summoned skull attacked Joey directly. Archfiend Lightning. Joey took the attack with a wince as his life points dropped now. But that I'll end my turn. Yugi nodded. Joey LP. 4300. Yugi LP. 4000. Heh, you like taking my monsters today huh Yug? Joey grinned. They have been helpful. Yugi laughed. Well, let me return the favor. Joey continued. I activate my face down card, Grave Robber. With this I'll be taking your Change of Heart card and your summoned skull. As the Grave Robber card transformed into the Change of Heart, Yugi kept smiling at his friend's counter. Now that I have your monster, I'll let him attack you directly now. Sparks flew as the summoned skull attacked Yugi, who took the blow with a nod, and then I tribute your monster to summon out Cybertech ALLIGATOR AC. 2500, def. 1600 in attack mode. I'll end my turn there. Joey LP. 4300. Yugi LP. 1500. I draw then. Yugi nodded and summoned out my big shield GARDNA at 100, def. 2600 in defense mode and then play one more card face down. Joey LP. 4300. Yugi LP. 1500. I draw. And then summon out my Swordsman of LANDSTAR at 500, def. 1200 in attack mode. Now I'll have my Cybertech Alligator attack your big shield Gardna. I'll take a little damage, but you will lose your monster after that. Not so fast Joey. Yugi grinned. You activated my trap card, Magic Cylinder. Now you take that attack as direct damage. Joey winced as the 2 cylinders appeared, with one absorbing his attack and then the next one firing it right back at him. Looks like I end my turn there. Joey sighed. Joey LP. 1800. Yugi LP. 1500. My turn then. Yugi nodded as he drew his card and nodded. I summon my obnoxious Celtic GUARDIAN at 1400, def. 1200 in defense mode and then end my turn. Joey LP. 1800. Yugi LP. 1500. Okay, come on Joey said as he drew his next card and sighed as he didn't seem to get the draw that he had been hoping for. I'll play a card face down and end my turn. Joey LP. 1800. Yugi LP. 1500. Yugi drew his next card and only nodded at his draw. I'll start by playing my spell card, Card of Sanctity. This will let both of us draw until we have 6 cards each. Drawing the additional cards, Yugi seemed to have come up with a plan. It's time we end this duel Joey. I'll activate another spell card, Monster Reborn, to bring back my summoned skull in attack mode. In a flash of light and swirl of smoke, the large fiend stood there again, glaring down the Cybertech Alligator, but my monsters won't be staying very long. Oh no. Joey groaned. Oh yes Joey. Yugi grinned. I tribute them in order to summon out Slifer the Sky Dragon. The 3 monsters were wrapped in light as they were sent to the graveyard and the legendary monster appeared. Slifer the Sky Dragon, the powerful divine monster in Yugi's deck that was his first Egyptian god card, and its power was now standing firmly at 4000. Now Slifer, attack his Swordsman of Landstar. Yugi declared as the giant dragon reared up and opened its lower mouth to fire its destructive blast, finishing off the last of Joey's life points. And we have a winner. Yugi Muto, the king of games, has once again emerged victorious. The announcer declared. There was a bit more talking before Naruto clicked the TV off and silence gripped the room for a moment. That was awesome. Jaden declared with a laugh. No kidding. Alexa smiled. Getting to see an Egyptian god card, it's humbling. I can't believe he used it against Joey like that. Cirrus added. It was a sign of respect. Zane replied, using one of his strongest cards to defeat him was a sign of his acknowledgement of Joey's skills. This was definitely worth paying for. Naruto nodded as the group was soon talking about the play-by-play and commenting on how certain moves decided the game faster than others or how one well-placed counter would have changed the outcome of the entire duel. The talking lasted late into the night when everyone slowly shuffled out of Naruto's dorm and heading back to their own rooms, with Naruto leaning back on his bed again, once more enjoying his time in the school. Hail to the king. Nice work with that dueling giant thing by the way. Naruto said as he and Jaden walked into Ms. Dorothy's card shop. He was a pretty good duelist. Jaden grinned. I'll take your word for it. So you get your ticket yet? Ticket? Jaden blinked. The Yugi's deck. You did get one right. Naruto remarked as he reached into his blazer and pulled out his ticket. Oh man. Jaden shouted as he walked in and saw that Cirrus was dueling a raw yellow student. Hey Cirrus. Why the duel? Naruto asked as he looked over at the raw student and recognized him as Dmitri, or the copy duelist, as he had earned the nickname for his habit of copying other people's decks. He's dueling for the last ticket to see Yugi's deck. Bastion answered. Oh really? He forget to buy one too? Naruto asked with a grin. No. I bought mine. Cirrus grinned. This one is for Jaden if I win. Wow. You're the best Cirrus. Jaden smiled. Yeah. A good wingman always knows your shortcomings. Naruto nodded as he looked over at Dmitri again, so he's copying this time. Professor Crowlers. Bastion answered. Naruto hummed as he watched Dmitri activate his heavy storm card. He's got the combos down, but this isn't going to end well for him. I keep telling him to stop copying decks. Why's that? Jaden frowned. The deck is meant to be a mirror to your own heart. Naruto explained as he saw the ancient gear golem appearing on the field. Copying someone else's deck isn't showing who you really are, it's showing who you are pretending to be. A great duelist isn't great because of his deck, they are great because they and their deck are one. Now attack ancient gear golem. Dmitri declared. Not quite. I activate my Jetroid special ability which lets me activate a trap card from my hand. This lets me activate magical cylinder. This cancels your attack and deals you damage equal to your monster's attack. Cirrus grinned as the twin cylinders appeared and then wiped out the last of Dmitri's life points. Well played. Naruto nodded as he patted Cirrus on the shoulder. You've improved quite a bit. You think? Cirrus asked with a blink of surprise. Beyond a doubt. Naruto nodded as he heard the other students muttering about how Dmitri would likely be demoted soon. Glancing over at the raw student he saw Bastion trying to cheer him up, but Dmitri ran off before he could. Shaking his head, Naruto let Cirrus grab the ticket and hand it off to Jaden. So now that we all have our tickets, we ready for tomorrow? Naruto asked with a grin. You know it. Jaden laughed. It's going to be great to see that deck in person. Especially since we got to watch its last duel with Yugi. Cirrus grinned. So how much trouble did you get in for that by the way? Bastion asked. Not as much as I thought. Naruto chuckled. Though I have to work off that money this summer. Oh. Ton of chores or getting a job? Cirrus asked. Job probably. Dad's been bugging me about one for a while now. Naruto chuckled. He has it all lined up. In truth I think he was hoping I would do something like that so he could pressure me into accepting. He's sneaky like that. That got a few chuckles from the three as they walked out of the card shop and hung out for the rest of the afternoon before heading back to their dorms for the night, or a small part of it. That night Naruto decided that he wanted to sneak a peek at the legendary deck, and as he moved into the halls, he saw two others heading for the doors as well. Little late to be out for a stroll. Naruto noted as Alexis jumped and Zane blinked in surprise at the sudden appearance of the blonde. Well, Alexis stammered. If you two are sneaking out to go and see Yugi's deck, then great minds think alike. Naruto chuckled. Apparently so. Zane smirked as he opened the door and they made their way out. It took a bit to get inside and find that they weren't the only ones sneaking in. Geez. We should have coordinated or something. Naruto sighed as he saw Jaden, Cirrus, Chumlee and Bastion heading for the exhibit. Apparently. This is the championship all over again, huh? Bastion chuckled. No kidding. Naruto smiled. Well, let's go. Walking down the short hallway they opened the doors to find, not the deck, but a broken display case and Crowler standing over it. Ah. It's not what it looks like. He exclaimed in shock. It looks like you were trying to steal the deck. Jaden declared. One quick way to find out. Naruto replied calmly as he walked over. Hold still. What? Crowler exclaimed. I said hold still. Naruto replied as he patted Crowler down and revealing only his ancient gear deck. He's innocent. Likely walked in on this. Yes. Thank you for understanding. That means the real thief is still out there. Jaden exclaimed. Split up. Find them. Naruto replied as he turned towards the door. Professor, I would recommend that you stay here in case the thief comes back. Yes. I'll do that. Crowler nodded as he slumped against the case. The 7 young duelists soon split up and were searching the school grounds for anyone else still out, and after a few minutes, Naruto arrived at the shore to find Cirrus having just lost a duel against Dmitri, who was wearing a scarf and a means of imitating Yugi. Oh hell no. Naruto growled as he walked over and helped Cirrus up as Jaden, Chumlee and Bastion ran up. Dmitri, you have gone too far. Dmitri. I am Yugi Muto. He exclaimed. Then let's put that to the test. Naruto snarled as he took out one of his decks. A duel? Very well then. Dmitri grinned as he activated his own duel disc. Duel. The pair shouted. Naruto LP. 4000. Dmitri LP. 4000. The first move is mine. Naruto said as he drew his card and nodded at his hand. I'll start things off by summoning out Konoha Chunin. Hinata Hyuga at 1500, def. 2000 in defense mode. Then I play one card face down and I end my turn. Naruto LP. 4000. Dmitri LP. 4000. Then I draw. Dmitri said, and I play the magic card polymerization to fuse together my gazelle the king of mythical beasts with my Performate to fusion summon chimera the flying mythical beast at 2100, def. 1800. Now my chimera attack is Konoha Chunin. Hinata Hyuga. Bad call. Naruto grinned whenever Hinata is attacked while in defense mode, she destroys the attacking monster at the end of the damage step. As Chimera slashed at Hinata she struck in turn, destroying Chimera. I see. However this does not help you. Whenever Chimera is destroyed I can special summon out either Performate or Gazelle to the field and I chose to special summon Gazelle the king of mythical beasts at 1500, def 1200. Now Gazelle, attack him directly. Naruto took the attack with a wince as his life points dropped. I then play a card face down as well and end my turn. Naruto LP. 2500. Dmitri LP. 4000. I draw. Naruto stated as he looked at his hand and seemed to be coming up with a plan. Okay. I start by activating my face down card Will of Fire. With this card I can either add a Konoha monster from my graveyard to my deck, from my deck to my hand or from my hand to the field. So I'm going to be special summoning out Konoha Godim Hokage. Tsunade Senju at 3000, def. 2500. But we aren't finished just yet. I now normal summon out Konoha Chunin. Shino Aburame at 1800, def. 1500. Now before we get to attacking I'll activate Tsunade's special ability. With that Tsunade turned and placed green glowing hands over Naruto in place of having her attack, I can have her increase my life points equal to her attack points. Now Shino, let's teach that beast who the real king of the woods is. Go, Kakachu Swarm. With a loud buzzing noise the insects in Shino's coat swarmed out and engulfed Gazelle, destroying the monster. I'll end my turn there. Naruto grinned. Naruto LP. 5500. Dmitri LP. 3700. It would seem that I shouldn't underestimate you. Dmitri smiled. You're able to hear it, aren't you? The heart of the cards. Something like that. Naruto admitted with a smirk. Then I won't hold back against you any longer. Dmitri nodded. I'll start by activating my face down magic card Swords of Revealing Light. With this card you won't be able to attack for 3 turns and must play all of your monsters face up. Then I summon out Alpha the Magnet Warrior at 1400, def. 1700 in defense mode. And I'll end my turn there. Naruto LP. 5500. Dmitri LP. 3700. On the defensive already? Naruto frowned as he looked at his hand. Don't go soft on me now, copycat. I am not a copycat. Dmitri protested. If you say so. Naruto snorted. I'll end my turn there. Naruto LP. 5500. Dmitri LP. 3700. Then let me show you what my deck can do. Dmitri declared. I'll start by playing the magic card Monster Reborn to summon out Berformet at 1400, def. 1800, then I tribute him an Alpha the Magnet Warrior to summon out the Dark Magician at 2500, def. 2100 in attack mode. Then I play the magic card Thousand Knives and use it to destroy your Konoha Godim Hokage. Tsunade Senju. As the iconic Dark Magician appeared so too did the Thousand Knives that slammed into Tsunade and getting a visible wince from Naruto. Now Dark Magician, attack. Dark Magic attack. This is gonna hurt. Naruto muttered as the magic blast smashed into Shino, destroying him. I'll end my turn there. Dmitri stated as the Dark Magician went back to his side of the field. Naruto LP. 4800. Dmitri LP. 3700. My turn. Naruto said as he drew and smirked. I'll start by playing the field spell Konohagakure no Sado. Placing the card once again had Naruto in the streets of his youth and as always a sense of calm overcame him. No matter how bad things got he could always turn things around in his home. Then I summon out Konoha Root Soldier. Sai at 1800, def. 1500 in defense mode and then I activate his effect allowing me to create one RTOKEN at 500, def. 500 on my side of the field, so let's see that artistic ability of yours, Sai. Taking out the giant scroll that was on his back, Sai quickly drew a lion that was soon crouching in defense mode on Naruto's side of the field and I'll end my turn there. Naruto LP. 4800. Dmitri LP. 3700. By draw. Dmitri replied as he drew his card. Now Dark Magician attack. The Dark Magician moved forward and then slammed his staff into the R token, destroying it. I'll end my turn. Naruto LP. 4800. Dmitri LP. 3700. By draw. Naruto said, and I now tribute Sai to summon out Konoha root leader. Danzo Shimura at 2800, def. 2500 in attack mode, and he gets a nice little power bonus from the field spell, bringing his attack all the way up to 3300. Now I can't attack this turn, so I'll end it there. Naruto LP. 4800. Dmitri LP. 3700. As Dmitri drew his new card, the Swords of Revealing Light disappeared. I'll play one card face down and switch my Dark Magician to defense mode, Dmitri said after a moment of thought. Naruto LP. 4800. Dmitri LP. 3700. My turn. Naruto replied as he drew his card. Now let's get started. Danzo, take out the Dark Magician. It won't be that simple. Dmitri grinned as his trap card activated. I play Spellbinding Circle. Son of a, Naruto muttered as he realized he had walked right into that trap, and now Danzo was trapped. I'll play one card face down and end my turn. Naruto LP. 4800. Dmitri LP. 3700. I draw. Dmitri grinned as he moved his Dark Magician back to attack mode. I summon WATAPON AC. 200, def. 300 in defense mode and end my turn. Naruto LP. 4800. Dmitri LP. 3700. My turn. Naruto nodded as he drew his card. I'll start by summoning out Konoha Chunin. Rock Lee at 1900, def. 1400 in attack mode and activate the equip spell 8 Inner Gates, so when combined with the field spell brings Lee's attack up to 2900 and gives him damage piercing capabilities. So Lee, let's go crush that little fluffball. Amit Renge. Flickering from sight, Lee appeared in front of the Wadapin where he kicked it up into the air before appearing behind it and then sending it crashing into the ground with a loud boom. It's your move. Naruto replied as Lee jumped back to Naruto's side. Naruto LP. 4800. Dimitri's LP. 1100. Well played. Dmitri remarked as he looked at his card and nodded. I'll start by playing my equip magic card magic formula to my Dark Magician, raising his attack to 3000. Then I'll have him attack and destroy your Konoha Chunin. Rock Lee. Not so fast. I activate my trap card, underneath. This card negates your attack and destroys the attacking monster. Naruto grinned as the wire trap sprung up around the Dark Magician and destroyed him. I'll play my spell card of Sanctity. With this we now both draw until we have 6 cards in our hands. Dmitri said as he drew his cards and seemed content with his new hand. I then summoned Big Shield GARDNA at 100, def. 2600 in defense mode and play one card face down. Naruto LP. 3700. Dmitri LP. 1100. You're going to regret giving me those free cards. Naruto warned as he drew. Now though I take 500 points of damage from the 8 Inner Gate spell card, but that won't matter for too much longer since I'll summon out Konoha Jonin. Nighyuga at 2200, def. 2100. No, you won't. Dmitri declared as he activated his trap card. I activate Dark Renewal. By tributing my Big Shield Gardna and your Konoha Jonin. Nighyuga, I can special summon out from my graveyard the Dark Magician. Naruto hummed as Nigi disappeared and the Dark Magician reappeared to Dimitri's side of the field. Guess I can take him down the old-fashioned way this time. Lee, let him have it. Charging forward, the green-clad ninja struck with a powerful kick into the Dark Magician, taking another small chunk out of Dimitri's life points. Well, looks like I'll end my turn there. Naruto replied. Naruto LP. 3200. Dmitri LP. 700. You are a skilled duelist indeed, but I won't be beaten here. Dmitri smiled as he drew his card. I now banish from my graveyard my Dark Magician and my Wadapin in order to special summon from my hand Blackluster Soldier. Envoy of the Beginning at 3000, def. 2500. Now once per turn I can activate one of these effects, so for this turn, I will use the effect that banishes one of your monsters. Now Blackluster Soldier, remove his Konoha root leader. Danzo Shimura from the game. Flashing forward towards the trapped shinobi, the Blackluster Soldier slashed once and a void appeared below Danzo, who sank into it and was removed from play. I can't attack the turn that I activate this effect, so I end my turn there. Naruto LP. 3200. Dmitri LP. 700. My turn. Naruto nodded as he drew and frowned now. Looking at his hand, he had nothing in there that could match the power of that card, and he knew that it was only going to get worse if he allowed only Lee to remain on the field. I'll summon out Konoha Chunin. TNT Enak. 1800, def. 1500 in defense mode and switch Lee to defense mode as well. I'll end my turn there. Naruto LP. 2700. Dmitri LP. 700. Then it's my turn. Dmitri replied as he drew his card. Now go Blackluster Soldier, destroy Konoha Chunin. Rock Lee. Charging forward the knight slashed through Lee, sending him to the graveyard, and now the other effect of my Blackluster Soldier activates, allowing me to attack a second time if I destroy a monster. Now go. Turning on its heel, the Blackluster Soldier slashed through Tenten as well, leaving Naruto with no monsters left. I'll end my turn there. Naruto LP. 2700. Dmitri LP. 700. Then this is it. Naruto said as he drew his card and felt a familiar pulse whenever he drew this particular card, and it's time to end the game. What do you mean? Dmitri frowned. Allow me to show you. Naruto said with the widest grin possible. I'll start off by summoning out Konoha Genin. Naruto Uzumaki Ak. 1500, def. 1000 to the field. In a flash the younger Naruto appeared with a thumbs up, but don't get used to seeing that charming face, because now it's time to show you real power. Real power? Dmitri blinked. The power that rivals the gods themselves. Naruto replied by sending Konoha Genin. Naruto Uzumaki to the graveyard. I'm allowed to special summon out Kyuubi no Kitsune. Kurama at 4000, def. 4000. In a red swirl the monster card Naruto disappeared and the very air seemed to tremble as the gigantic fox appeared, towering over all of them. So you summoned me out finally? Kurama asked with a snarl. And against what exactly? One of the most powerful cards in the game shy of an Egyptian god card. Naruto replied as he looked up at the gigantic fox, and you're just the guy I need to win. Suck up. Kurama chuckled. Well, what are we waiting for? Aim over Dmitri. Go Kurama, Bijidama. Naruto shouted. With a roar the kitsune opened its mouth where small spheres started gathering until it created a dark sphere that was shot directly at the Blackluster Soldier, smashing into the warrior and crushing it. Aim, set, match. Naruto nodded as Dmitri's life points dropped to 0. I lost, Dmitri said in shock, his voice returning to normal. I had the best deck possible, and I still lost. Though not without putting up a good fight. Zane remarked from where he and Alexis stood, and I'm sure everyone here would agree. Glancing around, Dmitri saw that there were dozens of students standing there applauding him, happy to have been able to see such an impressive duel. Dmitri, do you know why you lost? Naruto asked as he looked at the raw yellow student. It's like I've been trying to tell you. A deck knows its owner, and that deck belongs to Yugi Muto. It knew that you weren't him, and despite being able to use it amazingly well in the short time that you had it, it still knew that you weren't him, and thus why you lost. You need to make your own deck, your own style. Build a deck that tells the world who you are, not who you are trying to become. That is what makes a great duelist. Dmitri stared at Naruto for a few moments with Zane and Jaden, both nodding their agreement to this statement. Well, since he did so well, how about a consolation prize? Naruto chuckled. Everyone agreed. We don't rat him out. Agreed. The small crowd of duelists shouted as many of them crowded around Dmitri to talk to him about his usage of the deck and if he could give them pointers on some of the more impressive combos. That was an impressive card you had there at the end. Zane remarked to Naruto. Kurama. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Naruto nodded as he showed Zane the card. It sounded like you two were talking. He noted. We were. Naruto chuckled. I've been able to see Kurama ever since his card was made. A dual spirit. Something like that. Naruto grinned as he put Kurama back in his deck. Well, I don't know about you, but I've had enough fun for one night. I'll be heading back now. Make sure the deck goes back. Sure. Zane nodded as he looked over at the group while Naruto walked off back to the obelisk blue dorm, a gigantic kitsune walking alongside him, invisible to all except one slifer red with a winged kurobo. Suna deck. Briek Suna Genin. Gara no Sabaku. Ak. 1500, def. 2300, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. If a monster attacks this card with an attack that is lower than the defense of this monster, destroy that monster during the end of the damage step. Duexuna Chunin. Tamari no Sabaku. Ak. 1700, def. 1500, elmt. Wind, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. This card can attack all monsters at once. Increase this card's attack by 500 points when Konoha Chunin. Shikamaru Nara is on the field. Duexuna Jonin. Kankuro no Sabaku. Ak. 2300, def. 1800, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 6. Eft. Increase this card's attack increases by 500 for each Suna puppet on the field. If this card is to be destroyed by battle card effect, destroy one Suna puppet to negate the effect. Duexuna Jonin. Baki. Ak. 2500, def. 2000, elmt. Wind, type. Warrior, LV. 7. Eft. If this card attacks a monster that is in defense position, destroy that card without conducting battle phase. Briexuna puppet. Crow. Ak. 1800, def. 1000, elmt. Earth, type. Machine, LV. 4. Eft. Destroy any monster that battles this card during the end of the damage step. Increase this card's attack by 500 when Kankuro no Subaku or Aka no Suna Sasori is on the field. Briexuna puppet. Black Ant. Ak. 1500, def. 2000, elmt. Earth, type machine, LV. 4. Eft. When Suna puppet. Crow is on the field, destroy one monster on the field. This card must be in attack mode to activate this effect and cannot attack during the turn that this effect is activated. Briexuna puppet. Salamander. Ak. 100, def. 2500, elmt. Earth, type. Machine, LV. 4. Eft. 3 times per battle phase this card can negate an attack targeting any monster the player controls, with the exception of this card. Duexuna Anbu. Gashimaru. Ak. 1900, def. 1000, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Once per turn can increase players' life points by 500 or inflict 500 points of damage to opponent's life points. This card cannot attack the same turn it uses this effect. Duexuna Jonin. Pakura. Ak. 2400, def. 1600, elmt. Fire, type. Warrior, LV. 6. Eft. This card loses 800 Atkin def when battling against a water-type monster. This card is capable of damage-piercing abilities. Duexuna Genin. Mitsuri. Ak. 1700, def. 1700, elmt. Wind, type. Warrior, LV. 4. Eft. Increase AT by 500 when a card with the name Gara no Subaku is on the field. Duexuna Puppet Master. Chio. Ak. 2400. Def. 2700, elmt. Wind, type Warrior, LV. 7. Eft. Increase the Atkin def of this card by 300 for each Suna puppet on the field. Once, during the main phase, this card can be sent to the graveyard to special summon one monster from the graveyard. Suna puppet. Sasori. Ak. 2800, def. 2400, elmt. Earth, type. Machine, LV. 8. Eft. Destroy any card that battles with this card during the end of the damage step. Suna Sanding Kazukiage. Ak. 3000, def. 3000, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special summon one Suna puppet. Sanding Kazukiage to the field. Suna puppet. Sanding Kazukiage. Ak. 3000, def. 3000, elmt. Earth, type. Machine, LV. 10. Eft. Destroy any monster that battles with this card at the end of the damage step. Suna Yanding Kazukiage. Rasa. Ak. 2500, def. 3000, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. Increase this card's attack by 300 for every Gara no Subaku card on the field. Duexuna Godin Kazukiage. Gara no Subaku. Ak. 2500, def. 3300, elmt. Earth, type. Warrior, LV. 8. Eft. You can special summon this card by sending one Suna Genin. Gara no Subaku from the field to the graveyard. Increase this card's attack by 300 for every Suna monster on the field. Briex Desert Burial. Spell. Eft. For every Gara no Subaku, Rasa and Sanding Kazukiage card on the field, destroy one card your opponent controls. Duex Gara's Third Eye. Spell. Eft. Your opponent reveals their hand and sends all monster cards to the graveyard. Then both players draw the number of cards that were discarded. Duex Gold Dust. Equip spell. Eft. Can only be equipped to Rasa or Gara no Subaku. Increase Atkin def by 700 points. Duex Unagakur no Sado. Field spell. Eft. Increase the ATK of all monsters with Suna in their name by 500 points. Monsters with the name Suna cannot be targeted by spells, traps or monster effects while this card is on the field. Briex Underneath the Underneath. Counter Trap. Eft. When an opponent's monster declare an attack, negate the attack and destroy the attacking monster. Duexuna Puppet Core. Continuous spell card. Eft. During your standby phase, special summon one Suna puppet card from your hand or deck regardless of level for every Kankuro no Subaku, Chio, and Sasori card on the field. Hikamatsu Collection. Equip spell card. Eft. Can only be equipped to Suna Puppet Master. Chio. Increase AT by 1000 and gain damage piercing abilities. Ichibi no Tanuki. Shukaku. Back. 3000. Def. 4500, Elmt. Earth, type. Divine, LV. 10. Eft. This card can be special summoned by sending one Gara no Subaku card from the field to the graveyard. When this card is normal or special summoned, destroy all cards your opponent controls. This card cannot attack on the turn it is summoned. If special summoned by Tsunagadi Kazukiage. Gara no Subaku increase AT and def to 5000 for 3 turns. If this card is destroyed in battle, banish one card with Gara no Subaku in its name to special summon this card during your next standby phase. 2x Taki Jinchuruki. Fu. Back. 2200, Def. 2500, Elmt. Wind, type. Warrior, LV. 6. Eft. Once per turn you may use one of the following effects. 1. Your opponent skips their battle phase. 2. Increase your life points by 600 but skip your own battle phase. 3. Target one monster you control. This monster can attack your opponent directly this turn, but no other monsters you control may attack. Shichibi no Kabutamashi. Chime. Back. 3500, Def. 3500, Elmt. Wind, type. Divine, LV. 10. Eft. This card can be special summoned by sending one Taki Jinchuruki. Fu to the graveyard. Once per turn you can target one monster your opponent controls and switch it to defense mode. The targeted monster cannot switch its position for 3 turns. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard you can banish one Taki Jinchuruki. Fu to special summon this card during your next standby phase. Return to the pure world. Spell card. Eft. Return all cards from the field, hand, graveyard and removed from play to their owner's deck. Shuffle, then both players draw 5 cards. Total count. 52 cards. Ninja and the Maiden. Naruto frowned as he looked at the cards laying in front of him. He had been practicing new combo options for one of his decks and contemplating alternating out some of the cards for others that he kept in its side deck but was still debating the pros and cons of the situation. Sighing here, he assembled the deck and decided to leave it until later as he stood and made his way to the window where he stared out at the island. Things had been calm for the most part, mainly due to the students gearing up for a chance to be the representative for the duel with North Academy. Word had yet to arrive on who North was going to choosing as their representative this year, and all of the students were eagerly looking forward to having a shot at being picked. Naruto was looking forward to a chance to test his mettle against the other students, but wasn't too concerned about being selected. If he was chosen, then he knew that he would be giving it his best shot, and that was that. If he wasn't, then he would cheer for the Duel Academy representative, and that would be that. Either way, it didn't change much in Naruto's mind as he worked on his studies and continued looking over his decks to see what ways he could make them even more deadly. His dad kept telling him that he didn't have to do that as his decks were as close to being perfect as he had ever seen, but Naruto always felt like there was more that he could do for them. The next day Naruto was heading for class when he saw an extra person trailing behind Jaden and his friends and raised an eyebrow at this as he stopped just ahead of them. "Hey Naruto." Jaden grinned as he walked up. "Morning. Who's this?" Naruto asked, nodding to the new kid. "That's Blair. He just transferred in." Jaden explained. "That right. Nice to meet you," Naruto said as he offered a hand to the shorter student. "Thanks." Blair nodded, and as Naruto gripped his hand he frowned and stared hard at the student. "Naruto?" Cirrus asked with concern. "Why are you staring like that?" "Huh? Oh, sorry." Naruto chuckled as he turned towards the class. "Must have spaced there for a sec. Happens to me all the time in class." Chumlee grinned as they walked in, and Naruto made his way to his seat, where he frowned once again at the handshake that he had with Blair. It hadn't been nearly as rough as most guys' hands that he had shaken, but it could just be that Blair took really good care of his skin or something. Putting it out of his mind, Naruto made his usual minimal effort into class like he usually did, just enough to pass, but not enough to really cause any problems. Once classes had let out, Naruto saw Blair making his way to the obelisk dorm, frowned as he tailed the new student, and blinking at him climbing up a tree into one of the dorm rooms. Sighing, Naruto climbed up the tree easily enough and landed in a crouch on the windowsill as he saw Blair picking up a deck from one of the bedside cabinets and was holding it very close to his face. "You know, trespassing will get you in a lot of trouble here," Naruto remarked, getting a loud eep out of the student, and Naruto smirked. Now care to tell me why you snuck in here? And why you are pretending to be a guy?" "How did you know?" Blair asked in shock. "I can be very intuitive when I want to be," Naruto grinned as he heard people approaching. Now, unless you want to get busted, you might want to haul ass and get out of here. Moving out of the way, Naruto smirked as Blair did indeed haul ass and leapt out of the window, grabbing onto one of the branches and using it to swing down to the ground. Chuckling, Naruto closed the window and dropped down himself, where he followed Blair's retreat and stopped as he faced the girl as she had stopped and was looking at Naruto with a mixture of worry and fear. "So care to answer my earlier questions?" Naruto asked. "I'd rather not," she muttered. "Then a wager then." Naruto grinned as he held up a deck. "We duel. You win and I stay quiet about what happened today. I win and you tell me the truth about why you were breaking into the obelisk blue dorm. Deal?" Blair nodded as they both went to retrieve their duel discs. As Naruto went to grab his, he noted that Alexis and Zane were waiting for him as he walked into the dorm. "Naruto, someone broke into Zane's dorm room," Alexis said without preamble. "I know. Saw them and getting the truth out of them in a few moments," Naruto replied as he walked past and up to his room. "You know?" Zane asked with a frown. "Who?" "That new transfer student Blair," Naruto replied. "Caught them in the act, but I don't think they are from North Academy. They were way too sloppy about spying, especially since you haven't been chosen yet to be our rep." "So why then?" Alexis frowned. "Well, I'll get that answer if I win. If I lose, we can't turn Blair in," Naruto explained as finished strapping his dual disc to his arm and was on his way out. "That right? You think you can wait? Why am I even asking? You never think you're going to lose?" Alexis sighed. "Who does?" Naruto asked, and getting a light chuckle from Zane as Naruto made his way to a stretch of open grass where Blair was waiting along with Jaden, Cirrus and Chumlee. "You're the one Blair's dueling?" Jaden asked. "Did you know that Blair is actually a girl?" "Yes, I did, Jaden." Naruto sighed as he walked over and stared down the now revealed girl, her long hair hanging loose. "You look much better without the hat, by the way." "Thanks," she said with a light blush at the compliment as they both started their duel discs. "Just remember our deal." "I know." Naruto chuckled. "Duel?" they both shouted. "Blair LP. 4,000. Naruto LP. 4,000. The first move is mine," Blair declared as she drew her card, "and I'll summon my maiden in LOVE AC. 400, def. 300 in attack mode and then play a card face down before I end my turn." In a flash a young girl appeared and Naruto frowned at the low stats. "Wow, she's cute," Cirrus gushed as he stared at the card. "Yeah," Chumlee nodded. "You do realize that it's a card, right?" Alexis reminded the two as Zane then remarked about Cirrus's childhood crush on the dark magician girl card and how they would be going steady when he got older. "Blair LP. 4,000. Naruto LP. 4,000. Then I draw," Naruto stated as he drew his next card. "I summon out Konoha Chunin. Kiba and Yuzuka AC. 1,800, def. 1,000 in attack mode." In front of Naruto appeared his old friend Kiba along with his gigantic hound Akamaru. "Now Kiba, take out her maiden in love. Gitsuga." With a grin, Kiba and Akamaru lunged forward and turned into two spinning twisters of destruction that slammed into the maiden, earning a cry of pain from the monster, but it was still standing, getting a confused look from Naruto. "As long as maiden in love is in attack position, she can't be destroyed in battle, and any monster that battles her gets a maiden token on it," Blair explained as the twisters stopped. "I see, but you are overlooking something. Kiba can attack twice," Naruto said with a grin. "Round 2, buddy." The attack struck again, and Blair's life points took another dip as the twin twisters hit. "And now I activate my trap card, Numinous Healer, which lets me increase my life points by 1,000. Blair countered as the trap card revealed itself. "I'll end my turn there," Naruto said as Kiba and Akamaru returned to their starting positions. "Blair LP. 2,200. Naruto LP. 4,000. That hurt," Blair said as she drew her card, "but I'm not done yet. I'll start by playing the spell card Dian Keto the Cure Master to increase my life points by 1,000. Then I equip Maiden in Love with the equip spell Cupid Kiss. With this, if a monster with a maiden counter on it battles Maiden in Love and I take damage, I get to take control of your monster at the end of the damage step. So now Maiden in Love attack is Konoha Chunin. Kiba in Yuzuka." Naruto groaned as his mind portrayed a mental image of Kiba gladly doing anything for a cure girl that looked like the Maiden in Love. Already guessing what was going to be coming next, Naruto watched as the attack hit and Blair's life points dropped a bit and Kiba switched sides. "Now Kiba, attack him directly, twice," she said gleefully as the now controlled Kiba and Akamaru slammed into Naruto 2 times. "I play a card face down and end my turn." Blair LP. 1,800. Naruto LP. 400. "Whoa, she's got Naruto on the ropes," Jaden said in shock. "Yeah, but she's not doing too great on life points either," Alexis noted. "But she has the advantage," Zane noted, controlling his own monster and that face down card. "If he isn't careful she'll have him beat." "I draw," Naruto stated, drawing his next card and looking at his hand with a thoughtful expression. Well, this should do for now. I'll summon out Konoha Chunin. Sakura Haruno Ak. 2000, def. 1000, in attack mode. In a flash the older Sakura stood with a confident smile on her face, and then I'll activate her effect, increasing my life points by 500. Sakura turned to him and with glowing green hands, restored a small part of his life points in exchange, though she can't attack this turn. So I'll play one card face down and end my turn. Blair LP. 1800. Naruto LP. 900. Looks like he bought himself some time. Alexis noted. Yeah, though his monster isn't as cute as hers. Cirrus complained. Yeah. Chumlee nodded. If the real Sakura heard you say that she would beat you into a coma. Naruto commented and smirked as they both looked slightly scared, as the hologram did indeed look at them with a scowl. It's my turn. Blair said, and I'll activate my equip spell Happy Marriage. This lets me target one your monsters that I control and increase my Maiden in Love's attack by that monster's attack. Oh no. Alexa said in shock as the Maiden in Love's attack increased to 2200. Now my Maiden attack and destroy his monster. Blair declared. Won't be that easy. Naruto grinned. I activate my trap card, underneath the underneath. This negates your attack and destroys your Maiden in Love. As the maiden rushed forward, her foot got trapped in the hidden wire, pulling her up in the air before dropping her on her head and destroying her. No. That was mean. Blair exclaimed. All's fair in love and dueling. Naruto replied with a smirk. Oh man. He destroyed her, Chumlee complained, getting an eye roll from Alexis. Nicely played counter. Zane noted. Yeah. Now he has her. Jaden grinned. Keep it up, man. Well, I'm not done yet. Blair said. I activate my monster reincarnation card. This card lets me add a monster from graveyard after I discard one card from my hand. And since I haven't summoned any monsters this turn, I resummon out my Maiden in Love in attack mode, and then I end my turn. Blair LP. 1800. Naruto LP. 900. Then let's see what we got. Naruto said as he drew and chuckled at his card. This is the end here, Blair. What? She asked with slight worry. I'll start by activating my spell card Will of Fire. This lets me choose one of 3 effects, and I choose to special summon one Konoha monster from my hand, so meet Konoha Genin. Sasuke Chiha Ak. 1800, def. 1200. Appearing next to Sakura was the younger version of Sasuke with his indifferent stare and cocky posture. Then I summon out Konoha Genin. Naruto Uzumaki Ak. 1500, def. 1000, in attack mode. Hoping to overwhelm me with numbers? Blair asked with a smirk. Hardly. Naruto chuckled. I'm going to crush you with this. I now play the spell card Team 7. Behind the 3 shinobi appeared the spell showing the 3 of them standing together, and the 3 holograms each got into a ready stance. This card can only be activated when I have Sakura, Sasuke and Naruto on the field, and the way it works is that it destroys all monsters you control, and I gain 100 life points for each level of the monsters destroyed. Alright you 3, take them out. Sakura struck first, slamming a fist to the ground to knock the 2 monsters off balance, as Naruto made a familiar hand sign to make a clone that knocked both of the monsters into the air, where Sasuke sent fireballs flying into them, destroying them as Sakura's hands now glowed green as she placed them next to the real Naruto. Now let's end this. Sakura, give her a taste of your power. Seismic blow. Naruto grinned. Sakura's smile appeared in a terrifying fashion as she rushed Blair and slammed a fist into the girl, obliterating the last of her life points. Aim, set, match. Naruto nodded as he turned off his dual disc. I lost, she moaned as she looked at Naruto, who nodded at her. Yeah, but not without putting up a good fight. Naruto replied. So explanation time. Grabbing her by the shoulder, he walked a short distance away from the others, who looked confused as to why he wasn't letting them hear what was being said as Naruto faced her, nodded at her words before nodding his head towards the group as they walked back towards them. Blair has something to say. Naruto said as he nudged her forward a bit. Zane, I was the one that broke into your room. She said, blushing a bit. I see. The older student nodded. I did it because I love you. She continued. What? Alexis blinked in shock. Yeah. Naruto sighed. It appears out little lady here has a crush on the best duelist here. Blair, I'm flattered by this, but you need to go home. Zane said calmly as he handed back a hair clip that had fallen off of her head when she had broken into his room. Huh? Why does she need to go back? Why can't she just stay in the girls' dorm with the other obelisk blues? Jaden asked with a frown. Because she's still in 5th grade. Zane stated calmly, and Naruto blinked as he looked at the girl. Whoa there. You mean to tell me that this little hotshot that just gave me one heck of a duel is 12? Naruto asked in shock. 12 and a half if it makes you feel better. She said with a grin. Well, I'll be damned. Naruto chuckled now as he could hear the loud chuckling coming from Kurama. If this is how good you are now, I can't wait to see what you can do later down the road. Yeah. Jaden grinned. So who wants to go and break the news to the faculty? Naruto asked as he started to leave. Since Blair and I just dueled, I say it's one of you spectators. Not it. Jaden shouted quickly with Cirrus and Chumlee following suit. Not it. Alexa said with a smirk as she looked at Zane, who just rolled his eyes as he walked off. The next morning Naruto and the others were there to see Blair off, with Naruto shaking her hand before she left and standing on the pier as she waved goodbye. Better be careful, Zane. She's going to be back soon, and from the way she's waving she hasn't given up. Naruto chuckled. I won't be here after this year, so it's not my problem. Zane chuckled in turn. I'll see you soon, my darling Naruto. Blair shouted, and Naruto froze at that as he looked back at the receding ship. Please tell me I didn't hear that correctly. Oh, you did. Alexis chuckled. Seems like she decided that she liked you more than Zane. No take-backs. Zane said as he walked away. Oh, just great. Naruto sighed. Any advice on how to get her to stop? Oh, you are on your own there. Alexis grinned. Or you can just get someone else to beat her in a duel. Jaden offered with a grin of his own. Yeah, I'm still not liking my odds there. Naruto sighed. Such a shame that the girl with the cute monsters had to leave. Sira sighed as the ship was out of sight. Just stay away from my monsters. Alexa said as she started off as well. Same goes for the ladies in my decks. Naruto snorted. Last thing they would want is someone drooling over them like that. Aw, why do you have to be so mean, Naruto? Chumlee complained. Naruto just snorted back a laugh as he made his way back towards his dorm room, though he could now hear the loud laughter of 9 different voices coming from the dorms, as he was certain that all of them had heard Blair's farewell cries. Triple threat. So why do I have to be here again? Naruto asked as he walked with Zane to the meeting that was going to decide who the representative for Duel Academy was going to be. Chancellor Shepard asked for you to be here. Said it was important, Zane replied. Why? Do you have something better to do today? Yeah, sleeping, Naruto snorted. You can do that later. Zane shrugged as they walked in. The pair stood off to the side as a few minor matters were discussed first, before Shepard informed them that North Academy was going to be sending a first-year student as their representative this year. In the spirit of fairness, we shouldn't have Zane participating then, Shepard remarked. I trust that you're fine with this. Of course. Zane nodded as he shot Naruto a smirk as the blonde rolled his eyes. Then that means Mr. Uzumaki will be dueling, Crowler said with a triumphant grin. Hey now, I'm not the only freshman with an outstanding dueling record, you know, Naruto remarked. He is right, Professor Banner nodded. Jaden Yuki is an exceptional duelist as well. That's Slifer Slacker. Crowler exclaimed. We have a perfectly competent duelist already here with Mr. Uzumaki. Jaden is competent. He beat you, remember? Naruto chuckled, getting an angry scowl out of the teacher, and chuckles from the restand. He's not the only one. Bastion Misawa is also very skilled. He is indeed. His only lose was to you if memory serves, Shepard chuckled. Since we have 3 candidates for this, why not settle this the old-fashioned way? 3-way duel? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. Exactly, Shepard nodded. I trust that you aren't complaining about this. Not at all, Naruto grinned. Excellent. We'll make the arrangements for the day after tomorrow then, Shepard grinned as he brought the meeting to a close. You knew? Naruto accused as he walked back with Zane. I heard mentions of it from a few different professors, Zane replied. The question is, are you going to be taking this seriously? A chance to represent the entire school. No way I'm going to play with my food, Naruto chuckled. It could be tough. They might decide to gang up on you. Maybe, but that just adds to the thrill. Besides, I've dueled each of them once. They know I'm dangerous, but they also know that the other one is as well. Knowing them, they won't focus solely on me, just because they know that it would leave them way too weakened to fight against each other. We'll likely be taking pot shots at each other until we see a fatal opening, Naruto mused, or we wind up double-teaming each other until there is only 2 left. Who knows what Bastion has cooked up. The next day it was announced that it would be a 3-way free-for-all duel between Naruto, Bastion and Jaden, with the winner being the chosen representative for Duel Academy against North Academy. The school was abuzz about this news as such duels were a rare occurrence, and seeing the best freshman duelist from each dorm going head-to-head was going to make this duel even more exciting. Grinning, Naruto walked into the arena with Bastion and Jaden, nodding to them as they each took up their positions. I hope you are prepared, Bastion warned them both. My new deck has been designed to take you both down. Bastion, you may be the smartest man in the ring, but that only goes so far in a duel, Naruto countered with a smile. If you think for a second I walked in here with plans on using a deck you have had a chance to analyze, then you have another thing coming. He's right, Bastion, this duel is only just about to start, Jaden grinned. This is going to be so awesome. Welcome students and faculty of Duel Academy. Crowler shouted into the microphone, bringing silence to the arena. Today we will have a three-way duel to determine the representative for the inter-school match against North Academy. The rules will be the standard free-for-all, no duelist may attack until all three have had a turn, and then you may attack whomever you wish. This is it, boys. Naruto smiled as he activated his duel disc. May the best man win. I intend to. Jaden and Bastion said at the same time as the duel began. Jaden LP. 4000. Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. Well, the first move is mine. Jaden declared as he drew his 6th card, and I'll start things off by summoning out elemental hero Clayman 800, def. 2000, in defense mode. Then I'll throw down a face down and end my turn. Jaden LP. 4000. Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. Then I draw, Bastion nodded, and start by summoning out Carbonedon 800, def. 600, in defense mode. I'll then play 2 cards face down and end my turn. Jaden LP. 4000. Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. On the defensive already, and I haven't even started yet, Naruto chuckled. I'm either flattered by the caution being shown, or disappointed that you both have bad starting hands. Only one way to find out, Jaden grinned. True, Naruto nodded. So let's see how you handle this deck, shall we? I'll start things off by activating a spell card, Village of the Bloody Mist. Naruto called out as the card appeared and blood-stained mist appeared around the 3 duelists. This spell card can only be activated when my opponents control monsters, while I have none. This will let me special summon out any monster with Kiri in its name from my hand, so allow me to introduce you both to Kiri Hunter Nin. Haku 2000, def. 2000. The mist solidified itself into the shape of a person with their face covered by a mostly white mask, standing straight with their hands hidden in the long sleeves of their battle kimono. Kiri? Man, you are using a whole new deck, Jaden laughed. So what does this one do? You're about to find out. Now Haku comes with a very special effect, allowing me to attack every monster on the field once. So Haku, why don't you give them a taste of your demonic ice mirrors? Ice began to form above the 2 monsters as Haku disappeared into a 3rd mirror and appeared in the 2 over the monsters, sending Senbon needles into the 2, though Clayman absorbed them with ease. Too bad you activated my trap card. Bastion declared last magnet. This trap equips itself to your monster, lowering its attack by 800 points. Naruto blinked at the trap, and while he could take the potential damage easily enough for now, it now meant that Haku was going to be a bit of a liability until his next turn, especially if Jaden decided to go on the offensive with one of his stronger heroes. I'll just end my turn there, Naruto stated. Jaden LP. 4000. Bastion LP. 4000. Naruto LP. 4000. Then I draw. Jaden grinned and summoned out elemental hero Sparkman 1600, def. 1400 in attack mode. I'll switch Clayman to attack mode as well and start this off with Clayman attacking you directly, Bastion. With a rush, the bulkier hero rushed forward and slammed into Bastion with a powerful charge, taking a small chunk of life points with him, and then Sparkman will destroy Haku. Go Shining Surge Flash. Nice try, Jaden. But since Haku is the only monster that I control, he can't be destroyed in battle, Naruto stated. As Sparkman sent the blast of electricity towards the masked ninja, he created an ice mirror and stepped into it, letting the lightning wash over it and take a small chunk of life points from Naruto as well. Heh. Well, then I'll end my turn there, Jaden chuckled. Jaden LP. 4000. Bastion LP. 3200. Naruto LP. 3600. I draw, Bastion said calmly, and start my turn by playing the Pot of Greed spell card, letting me draw 2 more cards. He paused as he drew his new cards and nodded his head at his hand. I then summon out Oxygedon 1800, def. 800 in attack mode. Now Oxygedon attack and destroy Jaden's elemental hero Clayman. A dinosaur made of wind let out a screech as it struck, sending a blast of air into the hero, sending him straight to the grave. I'll end my turn there. Jaden LP. 3000. Bastion LP. 3200. Naruto LP. 3600. Well, then I draw. Naruto said as he looked at his hand and grinned at the card he had just drew. Well, boys, it's time we kick this game up a notch. I'll start this off by using the effect of one of this monster in my hand to special summon out said monster, Kiri 7 Swordsman. Zabuza Momochi 2600, def. 2000, and equipping him with the spell card Kubikira Hacho, which adds another 700 points to his ATTACK 3300. Now I'll switch Haku into defense and let Zabuza show you the meaning of pain. Zabuza, destroy Sparkman, Naruto said with a grin as the man with the giant sword flickered from sight and appeared behind Sparkman, swinging the massive sword and destroying the elemental hero. And by the way, every time a monster equipped with Kubikira Hacho destroys a monster they gain an additional 100 attack points AC. 3400. And you activated my trap card hero signal. Jaden called out with a grin, this trap lets me special summon out another level 4 elemental hero when one gets destroyed in battle, so I summon out elemental hero BUBBLEMAN AC. 800, def. 1200 in defense mode, and since he's the only card on my side of the field I get to draw 2 more cards. I see. Well, I'll call it a turn then and hand it off to you, Jaden, Naruto nodded. Jaden LP. 1300. Bastion LP. 3200. Naruto LP. 3600. Alright, I draw, Jaden said, and activate my spell card Monster Reborn to bring back elemental hero Sparkman in attack mode. Then I activate my spell card Polymerization. Not so fast, Jaden. Bastion called out with a grin as his last face down card activated. I activate my trap card, Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell. By sending one spell card from my hand to the graveyard, I can destroy the spell card you activated and prevent you from using any other copies of it for the remainder of the duel. What? Jaden asked in shock as his polymerization card was destroyed. Well, that's that. Guess I'll need to come up with a new plan. For now I'll summon out elemental hero AVIANAC. 1000, def. 1000 in attack mode and equip Sparkman with a Spark Blaster spell card. In a flash of light the winged hero appeared next to the crouching Bubbleman. As Sparkman received his blaster with this I can switch the battle positions of any monster 3 times before sending this card to the graveyard, so I'll switch the attack positions of both of your monsters. Hiring 3 times Oxygeddon and Zabuza both switched into defense mode while Haku was switched into attack mode. Oh. Making the best of this, are we? Naruto asked with a smirk on his face. Only thing I can do. Jaden replied with a grin as well, after all a duel isn't over till the last card is played. I now switch Bubbleman into attack mode, then have Avian attack and destroy your Oxygeddon. Leaping into the air, Avian sent a barrage of feathers into Oxygeddon, sending it to the graveyard. Now Bubbleman, attack him directly. Aiming his weapons the blue-clad hero fired at Bastion, dealing another small bit of damage to the young genius. Now Sparkman, take out Haku. This time the electricity struck true and destroyed Haku, as well as the equipped trap. Alright, I'll throw down one face-down card and end my turn. Jaden LP. 1300. Bastion LP. 2400. Naruto LP. 3200. Bastion drew his card and only nodded at his hand. I'll start my turn by playing the equipped spell card Living Fossil. This will let me bring back a monster from my graveyard, but its attack will be dropped by 1000 points and its effects will be negated. So I bring back Oxygeddon in attack mode. With a flash of light the wind monster returned to the field, looking visibly weaker, then I summon out HYDROGEDDONAC. 1600, def. 1000 in attack mode. Now Hydrogeddon, attack and destroy his elemental hero Bubbleman. And ride into my trap card Draining Shield. Now I gain life points equal to your monster's attack points. Jaden grinned as the barrier appeared in front of his monsters. I'm not going to let you pull off that combo so easily. So it would seem. Bastion noted with a bit of a concerned look on his face as he glanced over at Naruto. I'll have to end my turn there. Jaden LP. 2900. Bastion LP. 2400. Naruto LP. 3200. Well, since it seems you're trying to bring out the big guns, Bastion, I might as well do the same, Naruto remarked. So I'll send the equip spell card Kiba to the graveyard so I can special summon from my deck Kiri 7 Swordsman. Raiga Kurosuki at 2400, def. 2100 in attack mode, then I use his effect to bring Kiba back from the graveyard and equip him with it, giving him an extra 600 attack points at 3000. Unfortunately I can't attack the turn that I use this effect, so I'll switch Abusa back to attack mode, then end my turn there. Jaden LP. 2900. Bastion LP. 2400. Naruto LP. 3200. My turn, Jaden nodded. I'll switch all of my monsters into defense and then throw a card face down, ending my turn. Jaden LP. 2900. Bastion LP. 2400. Naruto LP. 3200. Not a good draw then, Jaden. Bastion asked as he drew, only getting a grin out of the Slifer student. Well, it doesn't matter now, since this game is about to turn into my favor. Oh really now? Naruto grinned. Yes. Now observe. I start my turn by playing the spell card Mystical Space Typhoon. This allows me to destroy one spell or trap card on the field, and I destroy the Kubikira Hacho spell card, weakening your monster. A storm rose up on the field as the giant sword was shattered in a flash of lightning. Well played, but is that going to be enough? Naruto asked. It will be, especially once I summon out my second Hydrogeddon in attack mode and then play the spell card bonding H2O. So now by sending my 2 Hydrogeddons and my Oxygeddon to the graveyard I can special summon out my water Dragon at 2800, def. 2600 in attack mode. Naruto blinked at the giant beast that was now on the field and only chuckled. Not bad, but Raiga is still more than enough to bring that beast to its knees. My turn is far from finished, Naruto, Bastion countered with a grin, because now that there are 10 cards atop of Carboneddon, I can remove it from play to special summon from my deck Hyozanry at 2100, def. 2800 in attack mode as well. Now Water Dragon destroys Zabuza. Rushing forward, the watery beast slammed into Zabuza, and Naruto couldn't help but note the irony of the situation that even the hologram of Zabuza still got trashed by a giant water dragon. And don't think I've forgotten about you, Jaden. Hyozanryu, attack and destroy his elemental hero Bubbleman. The giant diamond dragon only aimed a prismatic beam at the hero, destroying it instantly. With that I play 1 card face down and end my turn. Jaden LP. 2900. Bastion LP. 2400. Naruto LP. 3000. Well, you weren't kidding about turning things around. Naruto remarked as he drew his card, but I don't think you've quite grasped how powerful this deck of mine really is. So allow me to give you a demonstration. Demonstration? Bastion blinked. Yeah. I'll start things off by activating the spell card Raiga's Funeral, letting me destroy 1 card on the field and return 1 monster in my graveyard to my deck. So let's say goodbye to Hyozanryu. Naruto called out. A giant coffin rose up underneath the gemstone dragon, dragging it inside before going underground again, burying the monster alive and destroying it. Whoa. Jaden blinked in shock at the way the monster had been destroyed. And that's just the beginning, Naruto chuckled. I'll then summon out Kiri Follower. Ranmaru at 100, def. 100 in attack mode. Appearing next to Raiga was the young boy, barely able to stand. Don't let his looks fool you, he is much more than you think. Now Ranmaru, equip yourself to Raiga. What? A union monster? Bastion exclaimed in shock. Exactly. Naruto nodded as Ranmaru leapt onto Raiga's back and was then covered by the older man's cloak. Ranmaru can only be equipped to Raiga and he increases his attack and defense by 500 points at 3500, def. 2600. Now I think you've had your fun, Bastion, but why don't we put that beastie of yours down? Raiga, Thunder Fang. Raising the swords again, Raiga sent lightning up into the clouds that had formed overhead before sending the lightning crashing down onto the water dragon. Not bad. But when my water dragon is destroyed I get to special summon from my graveyard the 3 monsters that were used to make it. Bastion declared as the 2 Hydrogeddons and Oxygeddon appeared on his field. Clever, Naruto admitted. Well, I'll call it a turn there. Jaden LP. 2900. Bastion LP. 1700. Naruto LP. 3000. I draw, Jaden nodded as he looked at his hand, and activate the field spell Skyscraper. With this field spell, if one of my heroes battles a monster stronger than them, they gain an extra 1000 attack points. So now Avian attack and destroy one of the Hydrogeddons. Not so fast. Bastion declared. I activate my trap card Amorphous Barrier. If I have 3 monsters on my side of the field I can end the battle phase. Nice save, Bastion. Jaden chuckled. I'll have to end my turn there. Jaden LP. 2900. Bastion LP. 1700. Naruto LP. 3000. I draw, Bastion said with a worried frown. So far all of his calculations had gone askew once Naruto had thrown the curveball that was his Kiri deck. It was too powerful to face off against head-on, and he didn't know nearly enough about it to try and lock it down like he had with Jaden's fusions. His latest draw couldn't help much, but it would help delay the worst for a bit longer. I summoned the Mathematicanak 1500, def. 500 in defense mode and use his effect to send 1 card from my deck to the graveyard. Then I switch one of my Hydrogeddons to defense mode while I have my remaining 1 attack your elemental hero Avian. The muddy beast opened its mouth and sent the blast of water into the winged hero, taking a small bit of life points with it. Then I have Oxygeddon attack and destroy Sparkman. The winged monster repeated its previous battle with the electrical hero and returned it to the graveyard. I'll end my turn there. Jaden LP. 2100. Bastion LP. 1700. Naruto LP. 3000. My turn then, Naruto nodded. He was tempted to take the bait that Jaden had left him. He had no monsters and all that was left was a single face-down card and his field spell. It was tempting, but much like how Bastion hadn't pushed his advantage, he knew that Jaden had some kind of trick up his sleeve and he didn't want to be the one who triggered it. At the same time Bastion had a strong defense going, though nothing that Ryga wasn't strong enough to handle at the moment. A moment of thought later and he had his answer on what he was going to do. "It's been fun Jaden, but I'm taking you out." "Ryga, attack Jaden directly," Naruto ordered. "I won't go down that easily." I activate my trap card. A hero emerges. Jade laughed as his last face down card triggered. "Now go ahead and pick a card. If it's a monster card I get to special summon it to the field." Naruto stared at the two cards for a moment before pointing the one on my left. "You picked elemental hero Necroshade at 1600, def. 1800 in defense mode." Jaden laughed as the dark hero appeared protecting him from the electrical attack. Naruto only nodded at the combo. "Well, looks like you're safe for another turn Jaden. Don't waste it." Jaden LP. 2100. Bastion LP. 1700. Naruto LP. 3000. "I don't intend to." Jaden laughed as he drew his card cause. "Now I summon out elemental hero Burstinatrix at 1200, def. 800 and then activate my spell card Burst Impact." "Oh no." Naruto groaned, already guessing what was about to happen. "Oh yeah. With this spell all monsters on the field that aren't Burstinatrix get destroyed and their owners take 300 points of damage for each monster that they lost." Jaden grinned. "So let him have it Burstinatrix." But the fiery blast, a wave of fire washed over the field, taking out every monster in its wake. "Well, thank you for that Jaden. Because with Mathematician destroyed I get to add a card from my deck to my hand," Bastion remarked. "And my turn isn't finished yet. Now Burstinatrix attack Naruto directly." Naruto only sighed as the fireball slammed into him, taking a large chunk of life points with it. "I'll end my turn there." Jaden LP. 2100. Bastion LP. 500. Naruto LP. 1500. Bastion was silent as he drew his card before sighing. "I'll play a card face down and end my turn." Jaden LP. 2100. Bastion LP. 500. Naruto LP. 1500. "My turn?" Naruto nodded, "and I'll start it off by playing the same card that started this whole thing off. Village of the Bloody Mist." The mist returned again, covering the entire field before it solidified into a very different shape from last time. This one was shorter and had a weapon of some kind on their back. "Allow me to introduce Kiriyande Mizukichi. Yagura at 3000, def. 2500. Now Yugura, why don't we repay Jaden's kindness and take out his elemental hero Burstinatrix? Go." Leaping forward the small cage leapt in front of Burstinatrix where he struck with his club and used one of the hooks to cut the woman in two before swinging the weapon around to send a blast of wind into Jaden, knocking him back a step in surprise, and with that I'll call it a turn. Jaden LP. 300. Bastion LP. 500. Naruto LP. 1500. "Man. You just keep busting out these awesome cards." Jaden laughed as he drew his card. "You're no slouch yourself. Despite the handicap on you, you've managed to keep us on our toes." "You are no one-trick pony," Naruto complimented. "Indeed. You have exceeded even my calculations," Bastion admitted freely. "Aw, thanks guys," Jaden laughed. "It's been fun, but I don't plan on losing now. So I'll play my spell card Miracle Fusion." "Ha." Naruto laughed as Bastion's eyes widened. "But this card I can remove from play monsters in my graveyard or field that can be used for a fusion summon, so I remove elemental heroes Avian, Bubbleman and Sparkman in order to bring out elemental hero TMPST at 2800, def. 2800. Jaden grinned as the powerful fusion appeared in front of him. "Now let's go Tempest. Destroy Yugura." "Nice try Jaden, but I activate Yugura's effect. This lets me negate one attack and destroy all monsters my opponent controls. Granted I can't have him attack or use this effect again for 2 turns, but since this is the endgame, I don't think it's too high a price. Now make those mirrors Yugura." Yugura only lifted the club up as a water mirror appeared in front of the attack and redirected it right back at Tempest. "Heh, then I'll just use Tempest's effect to keep him from being destroyed by giving up Skyscraper." Jaden countered as the field spell was destroyed, but his hero remained. "Guess I have to end my turn there." Jaden LP. 300. Bastion LP. 500. Naruto LP. 1500. "Heh. I guess it was a good thing you both decided to ignore me this past turn." Bastion chuckled as he drew his card. "You've given me time to prepare." "Oh, crud." Naruto groaned. "Indeed. I activate the spell card Pot of Greed to add 2 more cards to my hand again." Bastion began as he drew his 2 more cards and his grin appeared again in full force. "And now I have everything that I need. I activate the ritual spell card Litmus Doom Ritual and send the water dragon from my hand to the graveyard to ritual summon Litmus Doom SWORDSMAN at 0, def. 0 in attack mode." The altar rose up behind Bastion, and as the second water dragon was sacrificed, the Litmus Doom swordsman appeared, though his stats gave Naruto pause as he raised an eyebrow at the zero he saw. This now lets me activate my face-down card spirit barrier. Bastion declared, now as long as I have a monster on the field I won't take any battle damage, and Litmus cannot be destroyed in battle. And as long as a trap card is active on the field, Litmus Doom swordsman's attack increases to 3000. Well, good to see you haven't given up, Naruto noted with a raised eyebrow, but you've only got one shot at this. Maybe. But from what I have seen of your deck, it won't take more than this to remove your last and best defense. Go Litmus Doom swordsman, destroy Yugura. Naruto frowned as the monster swung its twin blades into Yugura, who struck back as he was destroyed, but it was to no avail, as the young cage was destroyed. But that I end my turn. Jaden LP. 300. Bastion LP. 500. Naruto LP. 1500. Then let's see if you picked right. Naruto remarked as he drew and a grin split his face. Game over, boys. I'll start off by summoning out Kirichunin. GMZ UAC. 1500, def. 1000, and when he's summoned I get to special summon out Kirichunin. MEIZ UAC. 1500, def. 1000, and when these two are on the field together they both get a 500 at point BOOST AC. 2000. Those two are hardly strong enough to finish off either of our monsters, Bastion scoffed. Who said I was finished? Naruto countered, because it's time for me to introduce you to the bringer of your destruction. Since Yugura is in the graveyard I can now special summon out his successor, so let me introduce you to Kirigati Mizukage. May TRUMI AC. 2800, def. 2300. In a flash, standing in between the two Oni brothers was the red-headed cage, a confident smirk on her face. Now don't go thinking that she's all beauty and no brawn, because she comes with a powerful effect. Once per turn I can have her destroy every monster my opponent controls, at the cost of her not being able to attack. So May, why don't you give them a taste of your skilled mist technique? Naruto ordered as May stepped ahead of the two other monsters and released a stream of mist from her mouth that encompassed Litmus Doom swordsman and elemental hero Tempest and began melting them before they were destroyed. And now that the way is clear, Mzu attacked Jaden directly while Maizu attacks Bastion. Naruto declared as the two brothers shot off to their respective targets and wiped out the last of their life points. Game, set, match. And the winner of the three-way duel is Naruto Uzumaki. Crowler declared. As the older professor continued to ramble for a bit, Naruto walked towards the other two with a grin as he shook their hands. Great duel, he said. Hey yeah. Man, that Kiri deck is something else, Jaden laughed. Indeed. It seems to rely on special summoning powerful monsters and destroying your opponent's monsters outside of the battle phase. Bastion noted. Pretty spot on. Naruto admitted, but you didn't see every trick that this deck has. So what are the odds of us dueling again so we can see them? Jaden asked. At the moment, not too good. I'm starving. Naruto replied as he started off. I could use something to eat as well, Bastion noted. Yeah. Jaden agreed as the three walked off, chuckling and comparing notes about the combos that they had each used in that duel. What if Konoha watches Naruto and Yugioh end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.